that Monday behind you. Good times lie ahead. With company worth keeping. Till I flash a smile in your head. Come on in, the door's open. You'll find just the best folks here. Pull up a chair, grab a drink, and let us stories your ear. Cause the time. Here you're always welcome. The time. Promising beer, bad nothing. The time. Music, medicine, and some. The time. And welcome to Monday, January 28th. Talk of the Tavern, where we're going to talk about how social justice warriors are ruining things for everyone. We'll get to that in a little bit. First, I'm Travis Sivart, I'm your host. And let's introduce the other folks with us today. We're going to start with Ed. What do you got and how you doing?
Well, let's not get personal so early in the show. I'm doing fine, but...
Well, you're not staying for the third hour. We've got to do it at some point.
When?
That's right.
I got water.
You got water. Okay. Okay, so are we done? Is that it? Okay. Very good. Let's move over to the lady of the house. Don't look at the camera, Chris. I'm talking about Elizabeth.
I assumed that was good. I'm doing quite well. Very creative, successful day, and I'm drinking water and a little bit of vino. A gift from someone.
What kind of?
Share it with friends.
What kind of vino is it?
It's a red blend, very strong. I should be eating with it. So I don't know. It's out of California. It's called Oxbury. ONXY or something.
It sounds like it'd go good with a like a lamb curry.
I think I call it the smuggler's choice in wine because the palate, the flavor is so overwhelming. I don't enjoy drinking it besides just for the alcohol. And my brother would concur with that statement. That's what I told him when we were drinking it.
Gotcha. And then
but it was free and it's wine, so it's good.
There we go. Free the wine. What about you, Chris? What do you got today?
I am drinking Appleton Estate 12-year rum.
He's so fancy.
It's true. I am fancy.
What does it taste like?
Happiness.
Myself, I'm having something bitter and cold. And a Coke Zero also.
I mean, we've got Dr. Pepper on the side.
Yeah. And hello to our viewers. Make sure you let us know what you're imbibing or what your vices are tonight. And say hello to us if you want us to speak to you. Otherwise, whatever. We don't care. I mean, we care about you, but we don't care if you don't care about us. Okay, get that. So, Chris, you had a fun-filled educational day, and then we'll go back to Elizabeth, talk a little bit about her creativity spurting all over the room today.
I did. I learned things. So there's a drafting program called Vectorworks that's got several different applications across several different disciplines. Architectural, landscape, entertainment, and then there's like the general designer, in quotations, like version of the program. And today was the first day of beginner concepts, and it was a lot of this is what this button does and how you use this button to make, rectangles and these sort of things. And then we got into later in the day, like buttons, and I was like, oh, I've always wondered what that did. Now I know how to use it properly. Or, oh my god, this tool makes doing this thing so much easier now.
I'm going to interrupt because I'm all excited. I'm practically giddy. Sorry about the overabundance of excitement here. Bob, good to see you back, man. I was getting worried. I actually called Ed today going, is Bob okay? Because I know you were Off having a good
Where's my
time.
brother? Wakanda forever.
Oh, Ed, in the game Chris and I play, they have a new troll tribe that they found that live in like Aztec type buildings, and they're all like Zandalar forever, and I'm like, it's
What
Bob.
I've been talking about.
It's and Bob, Andrea has a few choice words for you a little later, sir. So make sure you hang out for that. It's good to hear him scream again. I've missed his scream. Okay, Chris, so sorry to interrupt. It was Bob. It's been a month, so
That's fair.
it's
So yeah, half of my class is other Vectorworks employees that have started in the last month.
mm-hmm.
2 out of the 4 of them are in sales, and they're different reps for the different versions.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy one specific, like you can buy the core, like Vectorworks program, and then you can buy the like entertainment one, or the architectural one, or the landscape one.
So now that you're learning how to use this program more fully, what can you do for Talk of the Tavern with that knowledge?
I can render your house in 3D.
Wow. How about just a keychain of the logo instead? No?
And then there's one other person in the entertainment field, and they are a drafts person.
So they bring the
for
beer.
An event company. So like the event company says, great, we have like a venue in this Marriott. Go lay out all of the plans and the truss and the lights and wherever everything's going to go. It was like,
And the beer.
yeah.
Because
really.
they're a draft person.
Yeah.
So they place the kegs and pour me a beer.
Then we had one person who's the now drafts person / designer for her like construction firm. Like they're a new little company, and there's like 6 people, and she's apparently the only one who's being sent to like learn this drafting to draft essentially. She was like, yeah, it's great. And then we've got like 3 landscape architects. Well, 1 landscape designer who's freelance, and then 2 other landscape architects. And all of their questions are like, yeah, how does the plumbing and the irrigation feature work? And it's like, these are core concepts. We're not using Landmark. That's the end of the week. So, yeah, it's an eclectic group of people who all like, I need to know how to do this thing because when I try and do this for this very specific thing, it doesn't work.
So are you one of those people too?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Like, it applies to me and this one other guy, and then like the architect will be like, hey, how do you do this thing with this window and this wall?
So,
yeah.
Did anybody else have anything else go on? Because I know Elizabeth has a... Oh, wait. Did she take out her earplugs or put them in?
No, I'm here.
Oh, I wasn't sure. like, fuck me, I'm done. Chris is done talking. I don't need to hear the rest.
My mother returned home, so I'm saying hello.
Oh, very good, very good.
Very good, very good.
It's best not to ignore her, because she'll come on you like an angry spider monkey.
I don't want to wake up. Hi, Mom! No.
Why does she put 2 fingers on your face?
I have a question about Chris's training. Okay. Is there like a project you have to build or something by the end of the week?
No, I don't believe so. It's more of a here's a tool, here's how we use it. We started doing 3D drafting and rendering in 3D, which I've never had to do.
Is there anything you're looking forward to doing with it?
Yes, all over the hard drive. Making sheet layers and classes that are actually that work for what I'm trying to do, and we'll be getting into sheet layers and classes on Wednesday. So.
All right. Well, good for you. Cheers. Here's to learning. Cheers.
That's right, John,
Yeah.
with his tool. Oh yeah, we'll just do that for the opening toast. Here's to here's to learning.
We're still playing with the tool.
Here.
As Ed pays really close attention. Bob
Oh,
says he
my
needs a
tool.
black tool. Bob, are you offering your black tool to Chris? Is that what I'm getting out of this right here?
Is it metric, Bob? Is it metric?
No, it's fine. I know how to convert from Imperial to.
Well, if it's metric, almost everybody makes it into the double digits.
And then some.
That's right. So, Elizabeth, you mentioned some of your creativity surge today, and what else went on during the past 7 days since we've all got to hang out with you?
Oh my God. Just
Start it last Tuesday and break it down by hour.
All right, we're gonna have to review the video reference here. Okay. Been a week on the outline. It's been a week working, and I'm really developing the process for writing screenplays. I'm getting it down. I'm getting pretty damn fast now, and I got to actually dive in from the outline today to writing. Actually, writing. I'm only 3 pages in, and but at this stage, I'm writing it without any dialogue or bare minimum, just mostly blocking movement to match psychological, emotional, where you are in the scripts, blocking it all out. And it's really freaking good already. Like it's so far beyond the last one I wrote. I'm still on a high from it. I'm so excited. So.
Very nice. Now, for anybody
Can't wait to get back to it.
So anybody who doesn't know, now this is not one of the horror scripts. This is action adventure drama. Oh, it's a comedy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's and I'm sorry, I'm vaguely distracted because I'm checking the weather right now.
Yeah, you are.
Where I'm seeing tomorrow afternoon we're going from 32% chance to 97% chance of precipitation. And then tomorrow night, as it drops from mid-40s into the high teens, that turns into snow. Chris, I would expect maybe Thursday isn't going to happen so much for you because of snow. I don't know, though. We do.
That was like a winter advisory. We interrupt the show for winter advisory.
It is. Okay. Bob has an idea for you, Elizabeth. A 0.04% Western African dude hooks up a woman that's into pickles via Twitch. Now this isn't necessarily a story idea. I think this is just an idea. Yeah, I don't think he wants a script of this because he's going to go way off script anyway.
He might need a script.
He might need a script for Viagra. That kind of script.
Like a stunt double.
Stunt double. Ed, you want to be a stunt double? And the set went dark.
It's a little bit more than 0.04%. So no, I can't be a stunt
I'll take a stand-in anytime.
Now, what about you, Ed? Anything exciting in the past week?
at work.
Andrea brought home a new cat. Now I've shown this to Elizabeth and Chris, and we've got another orange tabby that she brought home, and let me make sure I can see what I'm doing here. So there we go. There he is. And he gets vicious if you touch his head.
Wow. Chrissy's got some mean teeth. Stay away.
Angry pussy. Angry pussy.
I think that was a Run DMC song.
Damn straight.
They were some of the, well, by today's comparison, they would have been some of the whitest black rappers out there. It's
always color with you, isn't it?
There you go, being a social justice warrior.
I am. I'm very much right up there. See, I'm wondering.
Let me try again. I can't do it.
What are we not doing?
American Freedom Czar.
I see that. I'm wondering if we're going to get Kevin in here, or if he's asleep on his couch.
Poke him, nudge him.
I'm gonna say the latter is probably more likely than the former.
I agree. I think I am going to give up on waiting for him. And Andrea, just so everybody knows, Andrea will be along shortly after 9 o'clock. She works till 9 and will be coming home and joining us after that. I did make her dinner, so she'll probably have her little cat mouth thing that she covers her face with while she's eating, so you don't have to see.
She's a lady. Whoa, 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 she's a lady.
That's a pretty good Tom Jones impersonation. I have that song. I can.
Oh, I did see Split again. That movie by M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong.
Yes, and
yeah, I loved it. The actor is amazing, McAvoy, and my poor mother just bought a heart attack. It's one of the good ones. I can't wait to see Mr. Glass, but it probably won't happen until next week.
I'm still trying to find a reasonable copy of Split to watch without paying, full price to watch it on Amazon Prime or some crap.
I got it on Redbox.
Okay, it's
Just Thursday night.
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to do that then, because I've been wanting to see it since it came out. It was one of those ones that came out and it was kind of a quiet thing. It didn't really make headlines or catch a lot of attention till after it left, when people started doing all this stuff like, oh, this is part 2 of Unbreakable, and everybody went, what?
No.
And there's a part 3 coming out, and people are like, wait, what? Where the hell is this movie? How come I didn't see it? It's
Remember how tense we watched Bird Box together,
right.
Andrea, Travis, and I. Remember how tense it was?
Oh yeah.
Like it just kind of blew it up. This one, it's a different type, but the whole movie you just keep going, oh my god, it just doesn't get better.
I did read
Fabulous.
something from James McAvoy saying, now for Split, he didn't work out very much. He made sure he was fit, but not really worried about being cut or ripped.
Really? Wow.
Well, because he only had no shirt off, or had his shirt off for 2 minutes at the end of the movie, from what I hear. But in Glass, he worked it a little more because he knew he was going to be topless a lot. Why are all the serial crazy killers white? We have to excel in something, Bob.
Not all, but you're probably going to be white if you're a serial killer.
Mm-hmm. Or commit
One
suicide.
of those weird things. Just
There was a thing on Facebook today that was like serial killers and then had their astrological sign, and Scorpios and Virgos were most of them, and my friends were like, seriously, what's going on? And I was like, well, if y'all actually did things right the first time, us Virgos wouldn't have to get upset about it.
And neither would us Scorpios, but don't worry, you'll never know it was us. Ed's wife and I share a birthday.
Same day.
I saw your video, the cooking one for Thanksgiving. Fabulous. Well done. Cheers. It was lovely.
It's
If anyone's out there, should check out. Go to Ed's channel, check out the video on Thanksgiving dinner, cooking on the hearth.
That's right. I can get a link for it. Can you get a link for it, Ed? You probably can get it quicker
I can
than
get
I
a link
can.
for it. Yeah, real
Yeah.
quick.
And when you get to 100 followers on your YouTube channel, then you can name it. Like get a link so it's YouTube/Ed's channel or whatever. So I'm looking forward to that because I want to suggest names to you.
You can't name your channel on YouTube till you have 100 followers?
That is correct. It's that big, long, 14-character randomization crap. And basically, people would go in there, get 10 followers, take a name, and then somebody who actually went in and got 1,000 followers wanted the same name, but couldn't have it. They want to make sure you're actually there and doing the work behind
Right.
having a name
Right.
channel. It's Ed does have more videos that he wants to put up. He just hasn't done shit with them yet. I think we all know how that goes.
It's work.
It is. It is.
See how that works.
I'm gonna click it. I'm gonna click it real good.
Click it, baby.
I did see.
Yeah,
I did see Tempe hanging out, which I'm going to talk about Tempe in a little bit. I want Andrea to get home first because it's just a nut. So tell us the meaning behind your YouTube channel name.
Teresa and I have been kicking around for a while, and when we first started thinking about it was when practically every day we were seeing on social media the sky was falling.
Right.
And that was my original thought, to name it The Sky Was Falling, but I thought I might run into some copyright bullshit there, so the other part of that is it's just a nut. So there you go.
There's so many other meanings it could be. You know, like a savings plan, as in, you know, it's our nut that we're saving. Busting a nut, you know. Crazy man. But you're not white, so you won't be a serial killer.
Chances are he could be a mass murderer. He could be a lawyer.
No, he could be mistaken for one on a regular basis.
I'd like to think I'm more of a mass murderer kind of person.
I agree. Well, speaking of mass murderers, I'm just trying to be supportive, Elizabeth. Just trying to be supportive. You be you.
Hey, let me do me. Let me do me.
I thought you were complaining that you've been doing yourself for too long. You wanted somebody else to take a turn.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
I cuddle me afterwards, fall right asleep holding myself.
I know where it's all been.
Yeah.
We get along just fine.
Bob says, I am free. I don't know if he means that in the African-American sense or in the sexual sense. Or just that he doesn't charge by the hour.
Free of chlamydia, finally? What are we free?
I think it's more like, free at last, Lord Almighty, I am free at last. Did I quote that right?
Bob, thank you.
You know, well, as a white guy, I don't know if I got the words right. Let's go with sexual, says Bob. It's good to have you back, Bob. It's,
Good to have you back, Bob.
Absolutely. I made my microphone higher.
It's,
I don't know if it makes any damn difference with the sound at all, but probably not.
what?
What? Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Turn it up.
Captain. Star Trek movie. Captain.
Best when Sigourney Weaver did it with, all I do is repeat what the computer says, give me this!
I did that. I've been trying to record that for so long. Yep. This is my only job.
That's right. Let me have this.
That's funny. That was a good movie.
That was a great movie, and she has signed on for 3 more Avatar movies.
Awesome.
And there's also a new Ghostbusters in the works, where in theory, they're bringing back the old cast, at least the ones that are alive, though I think it'd be great if they brought Venkman back as a ghost, and just a CG ghost. His son is directing it, by the way. I would also like to see a passing of the torch with that, so we can move forward as a franchise.
I thought it was supposed to be a little bit of that.
A little what?
It is.
Supposed to be what?
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I think from the little bit that I've read of it, it's like the old cast is returning in that they're trying to pass on the torch a little bit.
Oh, good.
Kind of like that cartoon from the 90s that was that the real, no, it wasn't the real Ghostbusters.
You had a couple of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to
the one
see
where,
it.
like, the teens kind of like took over.
I'd love
I
to see it.
think.
Go ahead,
I'm
Elizabeth.
sorry, Travis.
No.
Travis, I yield to you.
Oh, well, very well then. I'd love to see them franchising the Ghostbusters business, but go on, Elizabeth.
I was going to counter that statement about. I'd like to add an additional theory. A theory that I don't know if it's mine or I've been reading about it. Who knows nowadays if it's just flood of information. I think the last one was such a mistake that the son of the original creator said, all right, let's try to make something better that can make more money. And the producer says, more money, let's do it. All I know is I heard about it because the actress from the third one, she's from Saturday Night Live, that black actress.
Uh-huh.
She got all up in arms and made a big statement, and her grammar was atrocious and flagrantly threw around Tom's name and something else just so the media would quote it and upset about it. So then I thought, well, it must be good then. Because I didn't enjoy the one with the chicks. I'm sorry. And they made a big deal about the crew and everyone being women, and then it was just like a fucking turd.
Chris Hemsworth was fucking delightful in it.
He was, and he's awesome. But
quick comment from John here. He says, I think it's doomed to fail. It was only good for the comedy and how those actors interacted. As much as I love the first Ghostbusters, I never thought it was a great movie. It was a good movie. Without much like it out there when it came out, especially, which is why we cherish it so much. Part 2
was terrible.
Yeah.
I know I saw it, but I can't even tell you what it was about.
Yeah.
Some kind of baby.
That was the one with the like ooze.
Yeah,
and the baby.
Okay.
and the painting that came to life.
Yeah.
You see, this is our vague memories of, yeah. The latest one, I think it's good for moments. It has a lot of moments, but a movie as a whole, I doze off. It went too long. It didn't hold me, but Chris Hemsworth is in a lot of those damn moments because he ad-libbed a lot of his comedy, playing a total moron, and was delightful.
Is it free on Prime or Netflix yet?
It has been, but I think it went away. But yeah, you'd have to check it. Don't expect a lot, and you'll enjoy it more.
Okay. All right. That's something I did. We cut the cable cord.
Ah, did you? Okay. Did you get a Roku yet? Hulu. Okay, with a Roku, you know how like you're running Hulu and Netflix through your DVD player or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Roku is a box just for streaming services where it has like multiple streaming services. And I'm thinking of going to that instead of... And Toei says it's great, and a few other people. Elizabeth, did you had input on it, or Chris did? Hey.
I have a Roku, but Ed, if you've got the cable and stop the visual dependence on video, go with it. Don't find something to replace it. Stick with it.
No, he deleted it. He got rid of his cable.
Run. Don't look back. You'll turn to salt. Keep going.
Wow.
Yeah, I have Hulu, Amazon Prime, and Netflix. And good evening, Toei. We mentioned Wynn's name, and Toei pops out of the woodwork.
There she is.
There she is. I have Roku. It gets me Netflix. It works. I've had it for years. It stopped working. It's something. I like it. So it's a good way to get Netflix on the TV.
Bob says, what the hell is that thing on the wall behind Elizabeth? It's causing me anxiety. Those are giant spider legs, Bob.
I'll get them out of there next break, Bob. They're Christmas lights. And the moment I just touched them right when the show was starting, they were blue. I'm like,
I was about to say, can you turn them on? But no, apparently not.
Yeah,
okay, so shall we...
technical difficulties.
Constantly. Shall we refocus to social justice warriors? Everybody good to talk about the actual topic?
Sure.
Okay, now let me define social justice warriors, and I can pull up the actual definition, but I'm going to give a loose definition first and look it up if we need to. So, thank you, Wynn. Appreciate that. So social justice warrior was people getting together basically to stop societal bullying by sticking up for people that needed either representation or whatever. And I'm going to go ahead and voice my opinion on this at the get-go and then let everybody discuss it. I think the concept, like a lot of concepts, started out as a good idea. But as time went on, the role has flipped, and they have now become social media lynch mobs who will attack people and terrorize other people just for the sake of, I don't know what, and they're the fucking bullies now.
Right.
So, Ed,
That's why I chuckled when you said societal bully, because they are the bullies now.
So Ed, as a black man who needs representatives saved and protected,
Stop doing that shit. White people. What, dear white people.
go on. Elizabeth, you're next as a fucking woman, so.
I don't need you to fucking champion me. I can do that shit myself.
So has there been a point in time where, you know, you do see a cause come up supported by white people or whatever that relates to your stuff, which I guess, I don't know, I don't see you as, I don't know, they're supporting camping or something shit like that you're into. And you're like, hey, thank goodness somebody else is speaking out about this because I wasn't being heard alone.
Nah.
It's because they haven't supported
That's
camping.
sure I understood the question.
It's have you ever had social justice warrior type behavior benefit you, where you were like, cool?
No. Not at all.
Is there
It
something?
pissed me off, but not benefit me.
let's
Not even a little bit? Not even just a little bit?
No, not even a little bit.
What about you, Elizabeth? And we can even talk about the Me Too movement.
I feel like I need glasses or a mask. Well,
A voice changer. You know, I know it is scary to.
What about me?
It is scary to talk about because you're like, man, if we piss them off, they're gonna come for us.
They're gonna come for you anyway, and it's funny that I said that because I'm sure that's what they were like. Well, the Germans were saying, well, at least it's just Jews, not us. Well, yeah, and eventually it'll turn and get you. So I don't know. I find that it's interesting. I agree with Ed and you, in that they've become, the social justice warriors have become the monster they theoretically have fought. And that as moral indignation rises, social like courtesy, or socially people become repugnant. You can't, they don't even feign consideration. Take this last week, the attacks on these children at the Lincoln Memorial. Now, you're acting, 15-year-olds are acting like 15-year-olds, yelling, jumping up and down, doing school chants. And adults are either attacking them or focusing on them for, I guess, their attire, for wearing Trump hats, or maybe they were all white. The children, the children. What? This is where we've become. This is where we've fallen. And what was the quote Koji Okocha said recently? I'd rather be factually wrong and morally right. You'd rather be factually wrong. It's frightening. And so, Chris, jump on in here.
One moment, let me read a comment, if I may, please. Wynn says, one of the current social justice causes that irritate the crap out of me is, quote, oh, female gamers are so oppressed by the evil men's. She goes on to... And that's been going on since the 80s. Chris and I were talking about it. She also says, I bet a lot more people bought Trump hats this week because of that incident. And Bob adds in, that kid was clearly a racist. Did you see that smirk?
Yeah, but was it New York Times? I can't remember who it was, publisher now, actually named it. It's a face crime. He committed a face crime.
What?
Yeah.
By
smirking back at the Native American, he committed a face crime.
I'm a felon. I should have my wife smirking at me.
Is this a face crime right now?
Mm-hmm.
Is this a face crime?
Yeah, I can read that fuck you in your eyes, buddy.
Chris, what are your thoughts on this?
hit the nail on the head. Like it used to mean something, and now they have become bullies and overly obsessed with being politically correct. Where it's like, yeah, you shouldn't be an asshole about it, but you're taking this a little too far.
Okay, I'm gonna read a few
Don't
more.
be a dick. It's funny how it always gets down to that.
Is that really so hard?
That could have been their motto when I first started Twitch. That was like #1 rule of everybody. They went with the Will Wheaton rule, don't be a dick. And the people trying to stop dickiness or dickhood or dicktalia have become the dickiest dick of the dicks. Just because it seems to be, if we shout the loudest, it's like an Italian family. Whoever shouts the loudest gets the attention. And a few comments here. Gary, hello Gary. You have the same color letters as Win for your name, so I might mix it up if I do. Sorry about that. Gary says a lot of this stuff is staged. I don't believe most of what I see. Win says, yes, face crime is a new buzzword, and my face is white, so yeah, it's a crime. Bob says he was a Redskins fan. I bet he supported that pipeline that crossed through Indian land. And Wynn says, but Whedon has turned into such a SJW dick himself, it's hilarious. Anybody have any comments on any of that? Chris is coming up with something. Did you want to comment on Will Wheaton? Is that what it is? Because we all hated, well, I never hated him, but a lot of people didn't like him as Wesley Crusher. And then he kind of got up and, hey, Drop, how are you? Got up and moved on and became his own person, which was kind of cool. He was kind of like an underground geek movement person. You're like, okay, he's cool. And then he came out with, I have depression and anxiety, which I think a lot of us relate to that. And we're like, cool, here's somebody, we can see. Well, this is where it goes, Elizabeth, isn't it? Oh, you're smoking a bowl. I thought you were sucking a little teeny dick. I didn't know what you were doing.
When people say they're depressed and have anxiety,
it's I have a theory on that, but I think that's a whole nother show, and I will still be an asshole for voicing that opinion about that too. But yeah, he's kind of flipped now, and not flipped like flipped his lid, but flipped sides where he's gone too far in one direction. Like the momentum carried to beyond the shore, and now he's like, I can't get back to shore. So I'm just going to be the shark now instead of the lifeguard.
oh, so you're saying that he's trolling for people, or he's looking to get angry at people and take them out? Like virtual assassination?
Well, that's what Wynn is saying. Whedon has turned into such a social justice warrior dick himself. It's hilarious, which I since I quit Facebook, I don't see a lot of this shit. I'm happy to report. So, somebody fill me in?
Okay. I'm sorry. I had technical difficulties. I didn't hear when said that. Yes, I would agree with that. And I've grown wary of celebrities and people in general who have no knowledge on a subject ranting about it when they have a microphone or a spotlight.
Would that be like us right now?
No, we talked about this before.
No, because we're not celebrities yet.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Once we're celebrities.
Once we get there, we can talk about the hypocrisy.
Shit that we don't know about.
Yeah.
But isn't this...
They have an opinion. Celebrities who, they're not getting paid because of their intelligence. Now, I don't know if they are intelligent. That is their own baggage. But they're being paid because they're pretty and they can say things and pretend. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's true.
maybe they don't know about the plight of the mountain lion. Maybe they don't understand global warming or financial budgeting or whatever completely. But also, I'm tired of lawmakers using social justice and passing laws where the laws don't affect them, where there's no consequences to that.
They don't affect the lawmakers, or they don't affect social justice warriors?
Yes, like senators who don't live in their area passing laws that affect all of, California or Virginia, and they don't live there. Or they live in rich neighborhoods that aren't affected by certain things.
Right.
That's where the social justice has become the angle, has become the sharpening of the blade and targeting to get their whatever
Anybody
they want.
have anything to add to that before I go into my next thought here? Okay. Interrupt
I'm
me.
not sure.
Do you want a minute to think about it, or should I start talking and you interrupt?
Oh, I'll interrupt.
Okay, Chris, you good? Are you muted?
No, I'm not muted.
Oh, okay.
I just have nothing to add.
Just quiet, okay. So since I want to say about the mid-90s, that's when I vaguely remember the term politically correct coming into existence. And we could dig over that or Google it, and I don't give a
late
fuck.
90s, but sure.
Yeah, anyhow. John says, I usually don't hold it against celebrities because they need to stay relevant. I understand that point of view. Doesn't mean they're right to do it, but I understand what you're saying there, John, and can kind of nod and go, yeah, it makes sense. But politically correct came out in the 90s, and possibly the late 80s in some areas, and late 90s for other areas, again, depending on region or whatnot. And I have always said, instead of politically correct, how about we politely considerate? Then we could say it's PC, but still it's a matter of being polite and considerate. Elizabeth can voice her thoughts, and I get to voice mine. And we might not agree with each other, but we let each other talk and maybe learn something. Doesn't hurt. And quit fucking acting like it does hurt when somebody says something that you don't agree with. It only hurt. Being offended is your choice. Very rarely, besides trolling, does anybody ever say anything with the intent of offending somebody. You do not give offense, you take offense. And you create your own offendedness. Is that a word? Put that in the dictionary somewhere. Go ahead. And this is what... There are groups and there are causes. There are black groups, there are Native American groups, there are women's groups who are supporting causes. And for social justice warriors to come out and go and support those causes, whether it's paying money or showing up at an event or whatever, is great. Because now you are being active in your community, you're being active in politics, you're learning, you're exchanging ideas. Shouting people down is not the way to make things better. Unless you're Elizabeth, you want to shout for me?
That's because he's shouting down doesn't make people listen. Doesn't even make them stick around. It just makes people want to ignore you.
Right, which is how they usually.
What is that saying? Speak softly. I think people strain to hear a whisper. People made huge changes. Like Martin Luther King, they would march silently. They would march peacefully. He would speak, and people would listen. And it was just beautifully written speeches and passing wisdom to people. He didn't have to yell. I mean, he may have become impassioned, but the wisdom and truth. Maybe not truth. Truth is.
Truth is a matter of perception. Yeah, it's quite often.
I hear what you're saying, Travis, but whenever I see this, I feel oppressed.
It's and the funny thing is with that, Ed, I see both sides of the argument, and both sides make sense when put forward without emotion and defensiveness put. And I think
they don't without emotion.
What's that?
They don't without emotion.
Neither side really. I mean, both. This is how, because we're fucking human beings. Yeah, and then when somebody says, hey, can we talk about this calmly and logically, then people says, help, you're repressing me. I'm allowed to feel things. Stop telling me what to do. Yes, Elizabeth?
Okay. So I forgot his name. I'll look it up for the break. He's a black preacher, and he likes to say things to get people riled up.
Jesse Jackson?
The things he'll say to black people is like, do you like white people? They don't know how to handle it. It's funny. He doesn't get the smartest people on his show. This woman was on today.
Montel?
On this, and I watched this video on YouTube. Forgive me. She was being interviewed by this guy, and she's an artist, and she does concept art, and apparently, I might get the words wrong, but she does this art form where the idea is more important than the artistic execution.
I remember
And to
that
me-
concept in Music Man with playing the music. Go on.
I said I was downstairs. I told my mother, I knew it. When I took us in that master's program, I knew they were all faking it. I knew it was all bullshit and words. I'm like, that's just a mannequin standing there. There's no execution. I think that's what social justice has turned into. It's this idea, and the idea from its very core has always bothered me when you said that people who have more need or a greater need and we should help them. Who decides the need?
Well, if you're black, apparently you have need.
Well,
Sorry you
apparently
didn't-
none of us to be for ourselves.
I've
We all
just
need
been
better.
oppressed for so long.
Sorry you didn't realize and didn't get the memo, Ed. By the way, it was printed on black paper, but they didn't want to use white ink because then it's like white people telling you what to do, so they used black ink on black paper.
Mhm.
Well, I'm a woman. I shouldn't even be voting or working.
You know what? As a man, I'm okay with part of that too, for me. Anyhow, Elizabeth, what about you with women's causes and, especially the whole Me Too movement with, I was mistreated or raped or sexually abused and everybody coming out. And I want to extend this question to a second part, and I'll do it now, then let you respond. As men started going, Me Too, I have been raped or sexually abused or assaulted or sexually mistreated in the workplace. At first, some women went, cool, we're not alone. This happens across the board. And then the social justice warriors came out with, nope, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not a woman. Got some thoughts on all that pile of stuff?
I have a seminar on that. We need time to- I think, actually, to start off on a serious point, I think any awareness or even just, I guess you'd say, fixing or fighting against or stopping sexual assault is a good thing for men, women, especially children. How about the elderly?
Good point.
I don't like, and that's kind of where that funny phrase, don't tell me what to do. I just think when people have control over you and you don't have control of yourself, it's horrendous. It's frightening. I've written horror movies about it, and that's a lot of what sexual assault is. So I feel strongly about it. The Women's March, can we have a ladies' march? Why can't we stand up for what we believe is right and also be ladies about it? Why does everything have to be so obnoxious and rude and people putting pussies on their heads? I mean, I appreciate the sculpture and the song.
Okay, I'm all for a pussy on my head. I just want to put that out there right now.
But it seems that we've lost.
Because then you're assimilating yourself in the culture that you're expected to be in.
Yeah, you're right. That's the uniform I have to wear. I have to be clear. Speak not in your face because I'm a woman. I can't have my own beliefs. Okay, number one, you do not represent me. Okay, I'm obnoxious and I'm an asshole, but I was raised by a lady. So. Well, thank you, Ed. I love you. You're fabulous. I don't know. Can we just get to the point where people do a good job and they get hired? Can we get to the point where
That would
people
be nice,
outperform
right?
someone and they win the gold medal? I don't identify myself as white. I guess I do identify myself as a woman. Once a month, I'm reminded.
Yeah, once a month, we're reminded that you're a woman too. God damn it.
I know. I am a human. I'm just struggling along, trying to do the best I can and not waste it or fuck it all up. Okay?
So you're talking about truly judging people by the content of their character. That's what you're saying.
I'm just trying to improve. I'm trying to improve my character. That is my life goal. I don't have children. I'm not married, but I want to improve and be the best person I can be. Why can't more people try for that? Stop it. Pay attention to yourself. Improve yourself.
Let me interrupt with a few comments, if I may. And Wynn says social justice exists so that people who hate sports still have something to yell about in a public arena. I thought that was quite funny. Bob says, I was raped, to which Ed says, you wish, Bob, and I said, make an appointment.
$20 is $20.
And then Bob says, I must like being raped as I keep working. Taxes out of my paycheck. It's
I'd like to
yeah.
kind of back up a little bit and even take it sideways a little bit, because you talk about the bullying part of it. Because I came to a realization a couple of weeks ago. I try to be very careful in social media about how deeply I allow myself to get drawn in. I blew it a couple of weeks ago, and I let myself get drawn in. And everybody knows I am a moderate conservative. I voted for Donald Trump. Got myself drawn into this conversation about whether or not Donald Trump's a racist. And before it ended, other black people in the conversation, I'm a house nigga. And something occurred to me at that moment. In the past 2 years, I've been called more disgusting names because I voted for Donald Trump than any fucking racist told me in my entire adult life.
What exactly are the job duties of a house?
Vote for Donald Trump, I guess.
I'm just curious, can I be a house cracker, and what are the benefits? Because it sounds like, so you stay home and you work at the house and you cook and clean. I'm like, God damn. And Bob says, I feel the same way, Ed.
I know you do, bro.
Anyhow.
When people call you names, they've lost the argument.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. It's just like, how many times have any of us been having a discussion, and I'm like, we're repeating ourselves, we're chasing our tails, we're done talking about it. And I'm not shutting you down, I'm just like, we're apparently not saying anything new. We're done.
Yeah.
And
time to go back to your corners, think about things.
And that's what name calling is. It's them not realizing they're done, so they just go to name calling as opposed to Travis. So it's like, apparently we're not, going to say anything yet. Wynn says the White House N to you. My bad, Wynn. I am just still amazed. I remember the F word and the C word and the B word. I as a kid, we never had an N word or an R word, and both those exist now. We have. The Simpsons did a joke going, Bart said the R word in school. And we all laughed because we're like, what the fuck is the R word? There's no R word. There is now. Elizabeth, were you trying to get the attention to say something?
No, I was checking the time. What is the R word?
Retard.
Oh, I think I said that recently. Oh, sorry.
Very offensive now. Very unacceptable. Don't tell people that your mattress is flame retardant, you fucking bastard. It's Wynn can't think of forbidden words when I was a kid. Wynn, that's because you're a touch older than us, and there was only 17 words in the language at that point. So Wynn is gonna smack me next time we see each other. Yeah, no, I think all words should be that way. Wynn says there were just words that were mean, and I feel like we should be able to say fuck, cunt, bitch, whore, any of it. And it's a matter of how it's used, because if I call Ed a pumpkinhead and I'm not like snuggling with him but yelling at him when I do it, it's still a mean damn word. Wynn says, at least I could spell them all. with the only 17 words.
Sticks and stones. It's the news. It's like, and so-and-so tweeted this, so-and-so tweeted that. Who cares? Who cares? It's
all scruffy looking.
Nerve herder. Now, we have 5 minutes. Does anybody need a break to get a refill? Elizabeth, go. We're going to come back at top of the hour with This Week in History. At least 2 of us will stay here till the other 2 get back. And Bob, go pee, go get a drink, and send me a bottle of Jameson's, please. That's right, you've got 5 minutes. You could go to the bathroom, jerk off, and get a drink. And I guess washing your hands is optional. It's just rub it in really good so it doesn't create those stringy things when you separate your hands. If you two are going to stay here, I'll pop out and get my drink real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
We probably won't talk. We'll be here.
It's true. Oh, now's the perfect time to check my phone. Which I plugged in somewhere. No, I'm stuck.
Hate it when that happens.
I know. Oh, it's work telling me that I have to do work, even though I'm not in the office this week. And they all know it. Especially when they paid for me to be out of the office all week.
Are they paying for your class?
Yeah. Professional development. In theory, there's enough money for me to take the other class that is specific to the type of the rendering program. So like we use Spotlight,
Oh, cool.
which is all the theater entertainment stuff. So there's money in there for me to take another extra class that's just that sort of thing. But who knows when that'll happen?
Okay.
They're certainly not going to give me another week off to go take another class.
There we go.
That sucks.
Yeah. Well, and most of the time, the Spotlight class is done at trade conventions. So there's a giant lighting convention out in Vegas every year called LDI, and they do the like on-site Spotlight training, and you can spend your week of the convention like taking the training class all week.
Devnall.
They're not going to send me to Vegas to go take classes.
Devnall, how are you, man? Good to see you. You're just in time for This Week in History. And Bob, I'm curious, when you say Anne won 600 on the penny slots, is that 600 pennies? Because that's not that impressive. Or is that $600? And if it was $600, was it paid in pennies? Did she have 60,000 pennies?
How many pennies did she put in?
Probably 60,000.
Right.
It's Devnall, good to see you, man. It's you missed a interesting conversation. We'll see how long This Week in History goes for. Could be 10 minutes, could be 2 hours.
I'll try to make it fast.
Well, it's only if we're eager to get back to the other topic. I mean, quite a few of us are kind of nodding along with each other. It's not much of a discussion because everybody's in agreement.
Well, come on, I didn't even fill out the N-word for you.
You did, because you're allowed to. And then in casual conversation, I almost said it back. And I could just see the verbal skid marks behind as I came to a sudden stop there in the conversation. It's, and you just called it the N-word. I want to point that out.
I know. I slipped.
Yeah, it's oh.
My middle-class male white privilege is keeping me... I don't really have to deal with any of these problems if I really don't want to. So.
There's the white privilege again.
Oh, I was dripping with white privilege. I know how privileged I am. As a 30-something millennial...
Devnall, thank you for that resubscribe. I appreciate that. Here's to you.
And there's the statement to make the upgrade.
True story.
I know exactly how privileged I am.
And we're going to go into This Week in History in just a few seconds here. I will play the go music.
Hooray!
Are we boring you, Ed?
Oh, no.
Because there's a...
Not yet.
Not yet. It's are you going to get a nap before work?
Yeah, that's why I'm going to get out of here.
Gotcha.
10 o'clock.
Let's do this. So, Ed, what happened this week in history?
This week in history, shit happened, y'all. I dumped all the birthdays because they were all from last week, so we just have entertainment shit.
Oh.
24 years ago. Go ahead.
No, actually, I want to wait for Elizabeth to get back before I say this. Go ahead.
24 years ago, Star Trek Voyager premiered on television.
I still haven't seen it all.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
Or you Netflix it?
I have it all. The only series I don't have all of is Enterprise. I don't have any of that.
Okay.
But I remember setting up, because when it first came to town, I was in Wilmington, North Carolina, back in 92, 93. And regular cable wasn't going to get it. You could only see it on satellite television. So, yeah, we were planning regular outings every week to a bar to watch Star Trek Voyager. And there was a whole group of people going. I mean, not necessarily like together. It's just this people went here because they said, we're going to be airing Star Trek Voyager every week. And people were like, well, I'm fucking going there. And it was a great idea to pull people in. Andrea's on her way home now. And since I have the floor here, once Elizabeth gets her earbuds in, I will say this thing. I'm waiting for her. Okay, can you hear me now, Elizabeth? Okay. Last week when Ed wasn't here, Elizabeth and Chris did an awesome job, as well as Kevin, of just going like and Googling shit and taking turns talking about shit from
Google
history.
Shit?
Oh,
I reused shit from 6.5 years ago.
he pulled up our old notes from this week in the Google Docs. It's but anyhow, I just want to say good job to you guys last week doing that. It was well played, and oh, that's a cat.
Cool.
Okay. So 25 years since Voyager, which I still haven't hit the part. Hey, there's Daniel. Good to see you, man. So what else happened this week in history?
45 years ago, hey, Happy Days premiered on television.
45 years ago.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Did you know with Happy Days, they purposely, as each season went, tried to create new catchphrases to create new merchandising opportunities? The whole "sit on it, Potsy" was an attempt at that. What else did they have?
Laverne and Shirley.
Well, not other series, but just the catchphrases on Happy Days. But yes, they did have 2 or 3 spin-offs, including Mork and Mindy came from Happy Days.
Yes.
So that's good time. That's right. And I'm going to reply back to Andrea here.
Okay. 45 years ago, also, the $6 Million Man debuted on television.
You know, they started to make a movie for that.
Did they really?
Like 10 years ago, and it disappeared. Sit on it. Gary says lots of sit on it shirts, I remember.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and you'd have the A shirts, and then you also had there was other catchphrases from Happy Days that we all know that I just can't think of right now. It's that looks. I just want to pick up fish and hold fish in front of your cat, so they can.
Chicky. Yeah, good boy. He's getting old and heavy.
It's a few comments. Daniel asked why they haven't rebooted $6 Million Man yet. And Bob says, no black people on Happy Days. Racist show. But they had an Asian who took over for Al once Al left.
That's true.
Yeah. Wasn't a lot of Asians out there.
They had women.
They had... You know, the thing is, we all adored Fonzie, but would he have been considered sexist? Because but he was actually always nice to women. He didn't, but he would snap his fingers, and they would have like go fetch him drinks and stuff. They'd flock to him.
He didn't rape them. I mean, they were willing participants.
That's very true.
You know, I mean, they wore those pants, those tight pants, and those wide belts.
They were correct.
They were. Okay, Ed, what else happened? We have a few comments here, real quick. Gary saying Pat Morita took over for Al. Bob says Al was in an internment camp during the war. Al was an Italian. They did not have internment camps where they died. Though it might have been coming because of the position of Italy during the war. And Daniel says he was actually supposed to be the Richie character. Pat Morita was supposed to be Richie? That's weird. Ed, what else happened, buddy?
Okay, 44 years ago, we're moving on up. The Jeffersons premiered on television.
So 45 for Happy Days, 44 for Jeffersons, which was a spinoff of Archie Bunker. And what was the other $6 Million Man? You said 45 years, right?
45 years for $6 Million Man, yeah.
I tell you what, that was a good couple years just for classic shows that have stuck with us.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was a good couple years, because I want to say, there's blocks of time where we get shows we remember and they become part of our culture, and then there's George Jefferson, Devnall. That's Devnall's idol. I walk like George Jefferson, just like I'm waving a fart.
Best song ever. One of the best opening songs.
It is a great theme song. It is a great theme song. And actually,
Good
Good
stuff.
Times is a great theme song. Sanford and Son. Bob, I'm gonna smack you with a fucking social justice warrior bastard.
What is that?
Daniel says Wheezy, and then Bob says it was rumored that the Fonz was a grand wizard. But as Daniel pointed out, Pat Morita was supposed to be Fonzie.
Okay, moving on along and talking about great opening theme songs, because they were just some good old boys. Dukes of Hazzard premiered 40 years ago.
Waylon Jennings.
Oh.
I've got it on a CD from him.
Very good.
I tell you what, I did. I enjoyed the remake. I enjoyed the movie that they came out with. Also, it was fun. It wasn't a great movie, but it was just fun.
Yeah, but I don't think it was supposed to be a great movie.
No.
We want to pay homage to this great thing.
Well,
Let's make a fun movie about it.
I also like the Starsky and Hutch movie and Chips.
I love the Starsky and Hutch movie.
Yeah. Oh, Gary says Sanford and Son was Quincy Jones. I didn't know he did the theme for that. And then
Cool.
Daniel says Pound jumped the shark.
The pound jumped the shark?
Right, because in our day, the hashtag was called the pound sign, so it's Pound jumped the shark. Go on, Ed. Quick.
36 years ago, the 18 premiered on television.
It's
Who was that composer? He did all those
Danny Elfman.
shows. No. Was it Mark Post? Was that his name? Anyway, I had the album and it had all of the songs that he had done. I remember 18.
Hold on, I'm looking it up for us. There we go.
Oh,
John Swihart.
I was getting close.
It's
I'm busy petting my pussy.
or is it Mike Post? I don't know.
See, I'm getting Mike Post.
I'm getting Mike
says
Post.
I say Mike Post.
Yeah.
He also
Thank
did
you,
the
Daniel.
Law and Order theme song, Law and
Yeah.
Order SVU, NYPD
Mr.
Blue. Quantum Leap, Magnum PI.
You know,
Miami Vice.
now if you listen to them, you can hear the similarities. Rockford Files, Greatest American Hero.
Yeah.
What else we got
Very
here?
optimistic. Optimistic.
Yeah. The White Shadow. That's racist.
No. It's,
You did
The
White Shadow.
theme from Renegade.
Silk Stockings, for those of us that remember that show. St. Elsewhere. Baba Black Sheep in 1996. I don't even know where to start with that one. So, yeah. Apparently, like half the soundtrack to the A-Team movie from 2007.
Yeah.
It's
Hardcastle.
You know,
Damn,
I
you're
like-
old.
I like the A-Team movie. I thought it was really fun. I enjoyed it.
It was, yeah.
Dev Null says, "Oh, Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you. It's the big one." Now, Elizabeth, that might have been directed to you in a penis reference, or it might have been a Sanford and Son reference. I don't know. You work it out with Dev
What you
Null.
talking about, Bob? What you talking about?
Bob, you got some competition? Just don't
You
ask
got
for
White
something.
Shadow coming in. Isn't that your dance? Isn't that your stage name, Travis? White Shadow.
It could be. There you go. Daniel says no heart attack comments too soon. Daniel, how'd your surgery go anyway? Did you get that yet? That was like this past weekend, or is it this upcoming weekend? This past weekend, right? It's So Gary says maybe Stephen J. Cannell was the common thread. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, sure was.
2 months ago, Daniel. I thought you had something in January also. Anyhow. Ed, what else happened this week?
34 years ago, Thundercats, the cartoon, debuted on television.
Thundercats ho!
Oh!
And Chitara came running out as I yelled it. Yes. Hi, boys.
Hi. I mean, I'm not. I mean, you should be right now.
Jim Carrey as Venus de Milo. Could he do that bit now and get away with it? No, he'd have to come out as Caitlyn Jenner.
Still funny.
Bob says I'm having penis implants done soon.
More than one?
58 years ago, 101 Dalmatians premiered in theaters.
Did you just see Bob's comment as how he started laughing? So Bob says I'm having penis implants done soon. Then he says I want it to look like Worf's head.
Oh, did you say it was 101 Dalmatians?
Yes, 58 years ago.
That's when they were really pushing the Xeroxing their animation so they could do this. You ever watch that? There's like not hundreds, but it seems like it. How about dozens upon dozens of Dalmatian dogs running around and each one's hand drawn? It's insanity. There's amazing artists. Amazing.
I'm still imagining ridges on Bob's penis.
Ridges on penises.
Yeah.
Like, holy condoms.
I just saw the last comment.
Gary says ridge like Worf's head for her pleasure.
I'm gonna be okay.
Her pleasure going in. It's like a cat penis pulling out, though.
Oh.
Or like that Australian guy who got, I think it was Australian, maybe it's Netherlands. They're right next to each other. Anyhow, him and his buddies got drunk and they decided to swallow fish like the old college things. Thing is, he swallowed a spiky catfish, which then went poof and popped its spikes right here in his throat. So they had to go to the hospital and, yeah. But don't worry. To show the doctor what happened, they had video.
Of course.
Whale of a tail. Whale of a tail.
It is. So what else you got, Ed?
The only serious one on here. 33 years ago today, the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded on takeoff.
I've got jokes for this too if you want. Is it too soon?
I'm sure you do.
How did they know?
They were
How many
all
people
over
can
the
you get now?
cosmos.
How many people can you get in the Astro bar?
They
No.
couldn't get 7 Up.
Yeah.
How did they know she had dandruff? Found her head and shoulders on the beach. What was the last thing she said to her husband? You feed the dog, I'll feed the fish. What does NASA stand for? Now accepting 7 applications. Or need another 7 astronauts. Middle school. It was a joy. Insensitive humor.
Is that how old you were? Is that how old you were?
Probably, I believe so. That was 83, was it?
86?
86.
Yeah, well, 33. Yeah.
How many years ago?
33.
33. Okay, 33.
Alright, yeah, 33.
Oh, there we go. Wynn says, the joke at the time was, no, I said Bud Light. And Daniel says, hey, my mom died on that shuttle. Bob, about the Klingon-headed penis, the ridges also help give you a nice pistol grip as well. I think he's imagining
Continuing forward.
I think he's imagining the Klingon penis having ridges all the way down. Yeah, they couldn't get
I'm
7.
just trying to not imagine anything.
There's Andrea. She comes zooming in at 35 miles an hour down the driveway. Oh, Devnon, we got all the jokes here. All the bad jokes. We're insensitive bastards. You're welcome.
It's all going to get worse from here.
Hell yeah. As we all imbibe our various liquids. I'm going to say alcohol, because Ed's got to work tonight. So he's behaving.
So I guess it was, in that moment, really raining men.
I'm trying to think of any others. Devnall says, I was sitting down to dinner watching AFN, America's Funniest. Wouldn't it be AFV? What is AFN?
Armed Forces Network.
Armed Forces Network, not America's Funniest N-word.
No,
The show with Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy.
I remember that. I remember it because I watched it on AFN, and I was in Germany on a Hahn Air Base, which doesn't exist anymore, and it was on AFN. We watched it.
I just remember it in school where they rolled out the TV, and on that cart. Yeah, they didn't even have VCRs yet.
Did they have
I
the
wasn't
fire?
married for another 8 months, so
Wow.
So you were in your mommy's tummy. Do you remember it?
totally.
Hold on, I gotta shout to the other. Hold on, she's running water. She might not hear. Andrea came in. Did you guys hear her?
I saw the blur go by.
Hi, Andrea. She said hi. It's okay. Oh, Daniel says, I'm gonna wait till she comes in here instead of blowing your guys' ears out. But let me tell her this. Hey, Andrea. In the microwave, there is a plate.
No, I go in the shower.
Just leave.
It's not like you wouldn't, yell at us for getting up and walking away in the middle of the show.
Screw you, bitches. I'm out of here.
Finally, now we can talk all about it. Shh, I'll talk to you later. Shh, shh.
Yeah, he's back. Damn it.
Go on.
How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you? How's your mother? Please send her a word. Yes, Ed. What else you got?
Shit going on now. CBS All Access. Anybody been watching Star Trek Discovery this year?
You.
No.
I heard it's good.
It's good. I'm digging it. But it seems like they're going to try to do like the Disney Channel.
Yep.
we're going to see a lot more Star Trek on All Access. They got the show coming out with Picard, and they plan on doing movies, miniseries, as well as other series.
And he is out of Starfleet in that new series coming out. He is no longer Picard in his upcoming series. He is no longer in Starfleet.
I figured as much, yeah.
Which is good, because it'll be nice to see other things in the galaxy, I guess.
Yeah.
Did he start his own winery?
I was wondering that, or is he an archaeologist? You know, is he just playing flutes in hippie bars? What's he doing?
Well, they tried to make like
That's
an
Bob.
internet series there for a little bit of it was like a privateer-esque like ship, and it was like Chekhov's granddaughter and like Icheb from Voyager and like a bunch of other like random, and they were on a rogue like I guess you'd call it Terran vessel because they weren't, you know, Starfleet.
Right.
They were tearing around the universe.
That'd be
They
fucking
were
cool.
raiding Starfleet ships and raiding other people's ships, and yeah.
It's, you know what, if they could do Firefly with Picard on board type situation, that'd be either really bullshit or really awesome.
Picard
One of the
and
two.
Crusher.
Yeah, Picard and Crusher.
Yeah, baby.
I just need to know they finally hooked up and he hit it.
Yeah, he did.
Are you okay?
It's stuck. It won't let go in the chair.
Here.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. It's Andrea, did you have a few words for Bob? I told him we were talking about this earlier, but I won't.
Bob, you were gone and you didn't tell us and you missed the appointment.
Yeah.
Sorry.
She had set up an appointment. She showed up at your home office, and you weren't there.
Yeah, for the gyno appointment. You weren't there, so oh well.
Elizabeth, do you care to say the word gynecological?
Gynecological. Gynecological asshole. Is that right?
Wrong end.
Close.
About that far apart. It's and Bob, in true Bob form, says, "Hey ladies, it is Flash on Monday," and Daniel says hello.
I already did that.
Mm-hmm.
You missed it, Bob.
That was in the first 8 minutes, right before you came on, Bob. It's,
I'm chapped. I can't do it anymore.
It's too cold.
the doctor is now
Bye-bye.
happy to
What you
reschedule.
eating?
What?
Chris wants to know what you're eating.
Alfredo and turkey. Stop. It's mine.
Like, I already ate dinner, but I'm hungry again already.
It's, yeah, this past weekend I made a homemade beef stew and then cooked a turkey, which, you know, we had a little bit for dinner, but then cut it all up. It's in a container, and now we're going to make soups and whatnot with it. So. Okay, Ed, what else happened this week in history?
Highlander remake throughout the end of the year.
Say that again?
Highlander remake.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
They're supposed
You're
to
the only one.
yeah, that's my feeling on it. They're supposed to make 3 movies, a trilogy. I like Highlander. Don't fuck with it. Leave it alone.
Who's the new one? Who's the new guy?
I don't know. They've
It's
announced
gonna be a woman.
they've announced the villain, which I can't remember who it was, but they haven't announced who the new Highlander.
Who's the villain?
I just don't remember who that was.
And it's gonna.
Lady Gaga.
Never
You don't
heard
know.
of it.
No.
There you go, Chris. Good job.
Ed, did you look at the article I sent you about Stargate?
The movie.
In the Discord chat right there.
Yeah.
If you
we
scroll.
should do a movie.
Oh, well, there is that too, but okay, apparently with Stargate, they're looking at bringing it back again. They've had a successful comic book series. They gave hints that there might be more coming, and then it went and deflated like a sad balloon.
Yeah, like in 2006 or so.
Like you do.
But
to think about it again.
somebody they put together a web series, and by they I mean the actual people who made Stargate, but without the big names. So now, and I'm like, we could do a quick. We could do an episode of Stargate and write it and star in it. We'll all be like going through Ed's closet for military
Oh,
clothes.
it could be that guy with that really pretty guy.
Oh, Christopher Judge.
Yeah.
Andrew wants to do your makeup, Ed. You good with that? What'd you say, Ed?
I have to confess, I have never watched Beyond the Movies. I have no idea about it. I have no idea.
I've seen
I
a
can
few
make-
episodes.
I can make it a script if you need. But I'm not an expert.
Rectify this.
It's
I'll do it. There needs to be spiral ham.
I'm down.
Yeah, with
We'll
bread.
schedule this.
And, oh dear.
There's
Daniel.
a couple of episodes in the first season that are pretty good. Then it mellows out and gets pretty good in the middle, and then it gets a little like, really, we're still going?
Tell you
Near
what,
the end.
watch season 1 or 2 of the original series and go watch Atlantis, and you kind of got it all.
At what point does it get like, why is this still going? What season is
7.
that? I'm just curious. 7?
I would say when what's this face left around season 9. Like
Season 9?
Season
Oh
8.
my god.
There are
How
10
many,
seasons.
how many episodes per season?
10 seasons and 2 movies.
Yeah. There. It. Somewhere in the like 18-ish, 18.
Oh my god.
There's over 200 episodes.
Oy.
Because they had a big, fun, like, crazy 200 episode. They did, like, a Team America, like, little mini skit. That was really funny. Because the, like, dangly iron marionettes went through the Stargate, and then when the Stargate cut off, they just dropped because their strings were gone. Good
I want to
times.
see that. We have to watch this.
So
Alright.
my son's school is letting out at 11:15 tomorrow due to the weather.
11:15.
It's getting out early tomorrow because the weather that I mentioned earlier coming in. I've never seen them give a half day of school like this.
We're supposed so I went and looked it up after you did. We might get snow in the evening for a little bit.
Crap, I have to work tomorrow.
And then it's gonna rain all day all through the rest of the week. Like, they're not even calling for inches.
That's funny. I forgot to tell you. I went to the store earlier this week to get groceries, and as I'm walking into the Kroger's, they have snow shovels. And I think, I've been thinking this a while. I need to get a snow shovel just because our driveway gets snowy and we don't have one. And the last time I had to shovel it, I put my back out using this tiny little shovel. And I'm like, damn it, I'm going to have to shovel. I'm buying the snow shovel. So I get the snow shovel. I put it in my car. I choose this weird one. I get just through the door of the grocery store with my cart and the snow shovel, and a woman stops me and she says, "Do you know something I don't?"
Yes.
Yeah.
And I said, prep for the worst, hope for the best. Okay. I
Need a
get
shovel.
10 steps in, and someone else says, "What do you know that we don't know?"
Prepare.
By the way, this
Over and over again to the store. People wanted to know what I knew.
here's a comment that relates for you. By the way, Daniel did say we could travel through the gate in search of more taverns. That would be a comedy Stargate. But Angela, good to see you. Yeah, it's kind of a half day. That's normally when my son's school lets out, when they have half day teacher work days. But Wynn, relating to what you said, says, I'm going to enjoy the snow panic at the grocery store tomorrow morning. It's
I should have got creamer tonight.
yeah, Andrea and we're going to have to go to the
Wait,
store
Getting
tomorrow.
on at 1:30 is a half day?
11:15.
Oh, 11:15. Okay.
It's
What time does he get to school normally?
7:20, and he gets out at 2:20. So 4 hours in would be 11:15.
Yeah, when I was in high school, we started at 7:17 and got out at 1:55.
And 18 seconds, motherfucker. Yeah, we have to
Well,
get.
first lunch period was at like 10:15. Like, who the fuck is gonna eat their lunch at 10:15?
Asians.
I mean,
Like you
No,
are.
that's like not even to 11sies yet.
challenge accepted.
That's second breakfast. That's not lunch.
Yes.
No, we would have already had second breakfast.
What time do you think hobbits get up
It's
at?
between second breakfast and 11sies, duh.
Yeah, that's so early. I mean, I remember. I think school was 8 or 8:30 for me. 7 to 18. My
Yeah.
God, that's
It's,
sinful. That's wrong.
And Angela says the kids who don't get to eat at home, sadly, it's true. When asking, she's answering your question there, Chris. Who eats at that time? The kids who don't eat at home.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's
Well, I went to the rich high school. Like, there weren't a lot of kids
That's
who
the
were
white privilege again.
I was about to say, yeah, it's a white privilege, isn't it?
Yep.
It's
Our drug problem of choice was heroin.
that is a
Mm.
that is not a poor man's
Because
drug.
we had the money
Yeah.
for heroin.
Bragger.
It's so yeah, we'll be heading to the store tomorrow also to pick
All
up
we
a
need
few
is
things.
coffee and creamer.
And soda.
To get your heroin?
No, we live in the poor town. It's just fucking marijuana around here, and probably meth. Is there meth around here? I don't know.
I can't afford it. I don't know.
I don't see any skinny people, so there's probably not meth. It's probably all marijuana guys, because yeah, they're all like fucking fat here. I don't know. Yeah. Bob says, Andrea, you can eat more slowly. I'm almost there.
I was in Germany, and in high school, the drug of choice was beer because I lived in Germany, and the beer was amazing. In the middle school,
Do you remember when your drugs tasted good? Back in my neighborhood, we only had nasty tasting drugs.
Why are you looking at me?
Drugs in high school. What's our day in history? What else is going on?
Sorry, I had this stuff. I got a Charlie horse from Hill just now. Sorry about that, Chris. But
I
anyway,
hate that.
I'm back.
By the way,
Oh,
Angela,
you are such a thief.
Angela says you
I'm
could
sorry.
drink beer at noon there, right?
Drink it anytime. What are you talking about?
I can drink it at noon here.
If you had money and you could reach the counter, you could
12, not.
Oh, age 12, not noon. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's the difference.
there's difference. Yeah. It's, age 12.
If you had money and you could reach a counter, you get to have beer. Or you
Nice.
get to have a drink. That's the rules I ran into.
So I put my kindergartner in moon shoes. Doing, doing. Fetch me a beer, boy. High school had a student smoking area, and it wasn't just tobacco. Gotta love the 70s. That's beautiful, Win. I got a little tear in my eye from that. Ed, what else happened?
All right, my last one tonight in What the Fuck News.
Oh, boy.
It kind of fits with the topic, and I had actually picked this before you picked the topic, so this is kind of cool.
Go
There's
on.
this thing that started in Europe, and it's kind of bled over in the United States called January. And it's where women grow out their armpit hair or their legs hair during the month of January.
Oh.
They usually do it in conjunction with trying to raise money for some organization or something. But
Not
anyway,
just because they're cold.
no, because
Whatever.
women should have the right to do whatever the fuck they want to do. They want to grow their hair. But anyway, so this year, January came under attack.
Under attack.
Because it's appropriating black culture.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
Because your people don't shave their pits? The fuck?
Well, but when you go into the history of shaving and everything, black women in the United States were about 20 to 40 years behind white women before they started shaving their body hair because white people do stupid shit. So, so black women started doing it later. So now it's appropriating black culture to not shave your hip pits in your legs. And I came to a realization when I was explaining this to Teresa, because Teresa doesn't shave, except for maybe 25% of the time. She doesn't see any need for it. I was like, Teresa, you're appropriating black culture. But not only that, you're also exercising white privilege, because you know how black men always wanted a piece of a white woman's ass for years because we couldn't get that shit as slaves. But now you come along as a white woman and you just grab the black man up. See how she is?
What a bitch.
Yeah, bitch.
It's spanking time. Yes, Andrea. You in the corner with the noodles.
Oh, I thought you said spanking time. I was volunteering.
Oh.
No. Also, no, that's my Zazzle.
Bad kitty.
What happened? The reason why women started shaving, white women, because it's a marketing thing. When guys started growing out their beards and things, the razor companies didn't have that much of a market, so they started targeting women, and it caught on.
Very true. Right after World War II.
Mm-hmm. Actually, before World War II,
Well,
silent movies.
Oh. Where you could see them 20, 30 feet big. And you're like, oh, wow, we need to get rid of it.
No, it's
Owie.
in my skin. Go away. Oh, sorry.
Spank that kitty.
Oh my god.
Who's he spanking?
Holy fuck. Anyway.
So, Elizabeth, I got to talk to the tavern back scratcher.
I have a
Is
dollar
Tempe on?
store one.
Is Tempe? Tempe, you still here?
Tempe!
This is what I was saying earlier. We wanted to talk about Tempe. But I wanted to wait for Andrea to get here.
Because I took it to work. When we were at MarsCon, I was walking around with my bag and my yarn and struggling to knit while I walk around. And I was talking about buying a bag. She made me a bag for my yarn.
Oh.
Then I can put it across and I can knit.
But she also made us a handful of patches this big.
Uh-huh.
So now I figured, because I'm like, what do we do with them? She says she's still here. Let's get one to Ed and Elizabeth and Kevin and ourselves. Do we have that many? I didn't count how many were in the bag.
Yeah, I think so. I just
Because if
gotta
not, somebody's losing out.
do the fray thing, the edges. But
Okay.
I love this bag.
Did it work out okay for your knitting?
Mm-hmm. I knitted on my lunch break at work. I really like it.
So Tempe, well done, and thank you for the patches and for the bag. Appreciate that. It was a nice little surprise when Andrea woke me up by running into the room giggling, I opened your mail!
Well, I knew she was sending patches because she told me,
Right, yeah.
but I didn't know I was getting something.
Then she got something else from another friend today. Andrea
Uh-huh.
made out like a bandit.
Kristen, she sent me teas and soap and...
By the way, Andrea, I saw pictures from MarsCon. Nice ears. You did good ears.
Thank you. I wear those to work sometimes.
Tell Ed about how you dressed for work yesterday and how
Oh.
it went.
Okay, hold on. I felt like shit. I didn't want to go to work, so I'm like, let me put on makeup. So I did the really cool 1950s rockabilly makeup with the cat eyes. And I did the rolls, and I put my hair up.
Again, like the 1950s
1950s.
starlet with the underroll. Is it underroll?
Victory rolls.
Okay.
I don't know what it was, but I did the rolls, had my makeup on, and I went to work. Now, people were either really nice to me or they avoided me. The old guys loved it, and they were really nice, and I did my job and helpful. But some of the younger women, they avoided me.
They're intimidated by her. And the older men, she looked like the bad girl from their childhood with the movie star hair. And they, like, instead of going, well, a woman won't know what to do to help us, they're like, we'll listen to you.
Yeah. Well, I just found when I really don't want to go to work and deal with people, I put on my costume. So.
Could you call
You look great. Your hair looked beautiful. Well done.
She did look good, and she had her fancy flannels on. I don't know if you've heard that, but she's gone like she'll wear a shirt and then a flannel over it with like just a couple buttons, and people are like, "You're all dressed up today." She goes,
No, I'm fucking freezing.
Those are good flannels on.
I only wore 3 shirts today.
You wear flannels like that around here, you're a lesbian.
I'm surprised I don't get that, but whatever.
No, this is.
I want that pussy.
We're in the part of Virginia where camo is a fashion choice.
Yeah, but I won't wear camo. I wear flash.
I saw that shutter, Chris. That was cute. I get the same reaction.
You've been here. Come on now. So the cows don't see you.
No. Who said that?
Mm.
They amuse me.
I
Okay.
mean,
Yes.
half an hour east across the Bay Bridge, and yeah.
Is that where we live from you? Daniel says if you wear flannels around here, you're just in Oregon. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Hipster thing. He's out west coast there. So, Ed, any birthdays or anything this week?
I do bird.
Didn't do Fuck birthdays. Anybody die? I don't think we had
I'm
anybody
sure.
die in the past week
I
that
have some.
we give a damn.
It's like current history, current events.
What do you got?
All right, I don't know if people heard, in Illinois, this guy killed his family and fled to Virginia. I thought it was Richmond. A customer came in for me to mix her paint. It was Richmond County.
County.
It was a couple houses down from her place that they called him.
Oh, wow.
So that's local.
Is this the 21-year-old guy that shot
His
like
family.
not only his family but his girlfriend's family because he
Yep.
was living with her and they were like, "You need to leave and not come back," and then he came back with a gun.
Yeah, so about an hour from here is where it happened. Or wherever is it over there.
Yeah, Richmond County is there.
Yeah. But I'm like, I didn't realize it was that local.
Get on my lap. It's Daniel says we had a murder 3 blocks away. Should you be walking that far so soon after your surgery there, Daniel?
That's good.
It's
Look at the kid.
I'll go as far as I can. When I'm done, come back home. We have a great crowd. We have Devnall and Toey. I did show them. And then, of course, Angela, Win, Bob, John is here with us. Gary. This is like the perfect storm of our regulars.
We
It's
missed you,
Alan
Bob.
Cummings' 54th birthday.
Ooh,
This is-
look at that.
Who's coming for their 54th birthday?
Alan
Alan.
Cummings.
Oh, I know that Betty
Alan,
White turned
Alan.
97 like a week or so ago. Betty White's awesome.
Betty White. She's an old white woman.
Happy Wallace
Yeah,
Walter.
we announced that. I was on the show that night, actually.
I don't remember. I don't pay attention. Was I working?
Ever since Betty White hit 97, Andrea can't remember shit.
Pretty much.
Elijah Wood turned 38.
He looks like he's 12. He's so cute. That's the Hobbit guy, right?
Chris's beard is getting like leprechaun wild over there. It's
It is. It's starting to like fluff out.
it is. It's like wider than your hair now.
Instead of Baby Shark, he's Baby Leprechaun. 7 feet tall.
Tom Selleck turned 74.
Wow.
I thought he was older.
Hey, that's a Mike Post song. We know this.
You're
Wilmer
welcome.
Valderrama turns 39.
Who?
Fez from that 70s show.
Oh, and what's his name?
Who?
Wilmer Valderrama.
Wilmer.
What is he, Venezuelan?
Probably.
And you gotta play the Indian guy? Talk about typecasting.
Vanessa Redgrave is 82.
I know her. I mean, not personally.
Our cats are like
Just through her window.
old. I don't know. What are they, like 4, 5?
Oh, Justin Timberlake turns 38.
I like that
He's
guy.
such a baby.
Fez is now on NCIS.
Get the fuck away from
She
me.
just wants to cuddle you.
What? Really?
She was
Apparently.
What's this character?
Criminal number 3? I don't know.
Dead body.
Shakira turns 42.
Good for her.
She's got great hips.
Yeah, she does.
What?
Huh?
Wouldn't recognize him. Tempe says, "I'm so jealous of all of you cats who actually sit in your laps without biting you." Yeah, they take turns. We only have 1 or
Oh,
2 that
Tempe.
will not get in laps.
This is closer to Tempe's cat right here.
There you go. In her book, grab her book right there for me.
Oh. Wait.
In this book, A Timely Revolution, it's
I have
she
to read
based the horse after her cat, who is apparently very bitey.
it. I've seen what her cat does on Instagram. I've
It's-
seen.
Have you?
She posts pictures. Came home to this.
It's
Silly cat.
There was oh, you know what else I want to mention? Since we have more time in This Week in History, would you hand me the Jeannie's books?
This?
And the other one that says Jeannie Wilkins on the spine. Admiral's Gambit. Yeah, I guess it doesn't.
It
say
doesn't say it on the spine. It says
Okay.
it on the front.
So our friends at HCS, Hadden Cross Steampunk, have come out with a couple books. This one here was in a Facebook group, and basically somebody would write a page or a few paragraphs, somebody would write the next one, and they wrote a whole book that way. And
Nice.
that just came out, you know? And then this one here is 12 Terrifying Tales by everybody from HCS. And I'm going to be reading these possibly on air. Shadows and Mists, 12 Terrifying Tales. Admiral's Gambit. And Jeannie, thank you for the copies of your books. Appreciate it. The fuck is that link, Daniel? You know how to make a short link.
Who is that?
Daniel.
What the hell is wrong? You didn't see that before you hit enter my ass. Fuck. Hold on, I'll pull it up in a second.
Size matters.
Darcy hid in a trash can today to stalk people. Good times.
God, that's so funny.
It's so this is him. Oh wow.
Who's that?
That's Fez from that 70s show as he appears on NCIS.
Oh, I've seen him.
Yeah, 20 pounds did this man good.
I never seen that 70s show, but
I
nice.
enjoyed it.
What? Oh, I love that show. It's one of those that I could just like turn on in the background to have background noise, and you like catch that random little like scene that's super funny, and you laugh at every time, and then you go back to doing whatever the fuck it was you were doing.
Like
Agreed.
Goldberg's.
Agreed.
Especially that episode where Red gets high in the garage.
What?
That's a good one.
John says, just started a HCS short story. Writing it or reading it, John? It's you must clarify amongst people who write and read. It's, I do neither, so you should clarify for me too. I just know people. So we got 10 minutes left writing. Oh, good for you, man. Good for you. It's
Nice.
yeah. John, who claims not to be a writer, but he's writing in a bunch of different anthologies, isn't he?
I know he draws.
Oh, he does good. It's a matter of fact, I got a book there with his art in it, as well as the story he wrote, "Fare Thee Well," by Dream
You want
Punk
it?
Press from Tara. Yes, please. Since we're showing everybody's books, let's go ahead and show this one too. That was from MarsCon, and that was Tara of Dream Punk Press, and a bunch of others. I had fun signing my name and possibly somebody else's now and then. Okay. Anyhow.
I bought this at MarsCon. It's this
Nice.
lovely little like Japanese style drinking cup, and it was.
Is
in
it
the
for
artist,
sake?
It could be. It's a little big. I put a bid on it, and I won it. Well, no one else put a bid on it, so then I had to buy it.
Damn it! Yay! I mean, yay!
But I really like it, and I'm a sucker for a teacup. Ever since I visited Japan, I love holding them. You could go outside, it's really cold out, and have a really hot cup of tea, and it warms your hands. It's quite delightful. So thank you, MarsCon.
So you're a sucker for sake?
You're a sake sucker?
Well, suck it to me. Suck it to me.
Horrible.
And I like it warm and cold, depending on how it's served and the environment it puts in.
Are you talking about sake or
I don't
tea
prefer
or...
sucking it out of a woman's crotch. Sorry, but it's not my thing. I'm not even sure I'd want it out of my own crotch.
Well, if you could do that, you'd make some money.
Bob says, time to go play with the wharf. Good night. Good night, Bob. Enjoy that
Good night,
pistol
Bob.
grip.
Good night, brother.
Bye,
Good night,
Bob.
Bob. See you in the morning. Should I nudge you?
Can we have a little? Can we have a little quick cannoli? Nope, no cannoli for Bob. Okay, moving on.
Cannoli.
There you go. It's. What do we have? 5 cats in here right now?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Where's the 6th?
Giraffe.
Chris
1, 2.
Otter is snoring while awake again.
Speaking of cats, Netflix just suggested that I watch Catwalk, Tales from the Cat Show Circuit. A fun, charming documentary follows the exploits of some very feline-friendly folks as they strive to get their kitties crowned Canada's top cat.
Why don't you just come over here, Chris, and hang out for an afternoon instead?
That's okay. You know what they suggest on mine? The documentary on the life of Ted Bundy.
White
Yeah,
people.
no, that-
Am I
that
right,
helps
Ed?
too.
It's Oh, by the way, Split apparently is back in Redbox, so we can pick it up and watch it. Maybe. Is it grabbing your...
Yeah, because I didn't start it
Yeah.
when I got this, so it's catching on the Velcro.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's Okay, we got a couple more minutes before you have to say goodnight to Ed, so he can get a nap before going to work.
Don't let the white woman appropriate you, Ed.
Oh, yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I told her to appropriate the hell out of me. Hell, beat me. I'll call you Missy.
Oh, man.
You know, that would be a great way to fuck with, like, I don't know, me or whoever else when we're, like, in a store. Just, you know, every time we say something, like, flinch
Oh,
from
you
us and just be like, no, sir.
Yes,
That's right.
Oh. No, sir.
I had a friend that worked. I had a friend that worked for the State Department, and he got stationed in India for a while.
Real
and
quick,
in
let's say
India-
goodbye to Daniel. He's got to take his kid somewhere.
I
All right,
didn't.
goodbye, Daniel.
Thanks for stopping in, man.
Daniel.
Okay, go ahead.
Mhm.
In India, you actually do have servants
Right.
that work in homes and so forth and so
Mm.
on. And he said one day his servant came to him because he was like, "What would you like for us to call you?" And he told the servant, "It's like, well, what do you traditionally call people?" And his servant told him, "Well, we normally, the male of the house, we call them master." And he looked at him and said, "Oh, hell no, my friend Ed back home would kick my fucking ass."
And that's a shame because young men, before you were Mr., you know, like my grandmother used to address all letters to me, Master Travis, you know, and whatever
Yeah.
my last name was that year. I went through a few in my childhood. So, yeah, it's a shame that we've...
You can call me master and you can call me sir. I'm okay with
Just call me.
that.
As long as I'm getting that call, I'm good. It's so these are more things that social justice warriors have taken away from. But this wouldn't be the current ones. This would be just a progression as time goes on. Just like when they re-edited Mark Twain's work.
How can you learn from the past if they keep erasing it?
John says
Re-edited Mark
maybe.
Twain, they took, the Gregory Peck movie.
The which one?
Mockingbird.
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 Kill a Mockingbird has been taken out of schools.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Ugh.
Well, if you don't like your history or you don't like your future, rewrite your history.
But if they erase the history, we're gonna repeat that shit.
Oh, there's a chance we'll repeat it anyway. Good night, Tempe. Thanks for stopping and hanging out a couple hours.
Thank you,
Good night,
Tempe.
We do have a third hour to go for all you guys who are getting out of here, and it might be best if you leave before the third hour.
I feel like I show up and everybody goes away.
Fuck, they hung out for 8 minutes. So now it is 5 minutes to the hour. Does anybody need to get a refill, use the restroom, etc.? Go on, Elizabeth, and let us say goodnight to Ed. We're going to do a closing Ed toast here. It's,
Ed.
To Ed,
Ed.
appropriating.
I'm so sorry that you've been appropriated and the white man is taking advantage of you after midnight.
But we're not sorry the white woman's taking advantage
That's
of
right, good for you with the white.
You say, hoorah.
Right.
Oh, right, let me go change my screen here now that we only have a
Nah.
Boink. There we go. Okay, hold on. We got a few comments here. John says that was so new when I was in school. Which thing, John? The master thing
Mark
for
Twain?
young things? Mark Twain, was that new when you were in school? Asking for Andrea.
What?
And Devin said have a good one, Ed. Here's a commercial for the break. Barbasol's answer to the social justice. See, with the social justice warrior Gillette commercial, I didn't get offended. I didn't get bothered by it.
One.
I thought the message was let's raise our kids to be better than we were.
To not, yeah. Don't be a dick. Just because you have one.
I think everybody else is having a huge, ridiculous backlash.
I think it's just because they had guys in it.
I learned a little bit about Terry Crews today. Apparently, he's quite often taking these things on. But I will watch a commercial anyway. So, not right this second though. After, but I'm going to pull it up now and pause. Oh, it's only 30 seconds.
Hmm.
Oh, well, if it's only 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it. You guys get to just hear it.
Oh, hey, buddy. It's a great granddad here. In case you haven't noticed, I'm kind of busy fighting for your freedom in this little thing called the Second World War. But now, you're using that freedom to hurl insults at celebrities on Twitter? Listen, hashtag, you're not going to fight like a man. You're going to shave like a man. Excuse me.
Okay, that's fucking funny.
Stop LOLing everything.
Oh, that's gonna offend so many people.
The Gillette one did. Why wouldn't that? Everybody was just getting their titties in a knot for everything. It's I don't know. I don't know. So we're down to 3, 4, 5,
You
3
offended
screens.
them.
5, 4. Yeah. What?
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe Kevin will show up now.
He still didn't show up?
No.
I thought in the message it said 1 second, and then I thought he was on after that.
No. The I'm double checking it. It's a. Oh wait.
That was at 7:30, 7:16 or something.
Okay. No. He's helping a friend tonight who needed a little company and support. That's all. Going to fresh up.
Well, it's all good.
So.
Why are people sending work emails at 10 o'clock at night?
Ugh. When do you have to be at work early tomorrow?
No, I'm in training. I don't have to be at work until Friday.
Holy shit, how'd you do
Now,
that?
training starts at 9 tomorrow morning, so there's that.
Oh. So you
But it does mean I get to sleep in because it's like 10, 15 minutes down the road. It's great.
Nice. Ugh.
I don't have to leave for work till 3. So I went to play some Warcraft tonight.
It's I got nothing to add to that.
But
How far? Oh, I think she has done the airplane thing
I
on
did.
the goblins, so she's pretty close to getting out of the goblin area.
as soon as I can get out of that, I would like to level up, run dungeons, whatever.
Yep. Absolutely.
I need to catch me some really cool pets.
So, Chris, this morning, I don't know if you were in the room. No, you weren't in the room when I told Ed this before the show. As you know, we leveled Aiden to 119 yesterday. I went, no, I quit, even though we have 2-3 hours playing time left. I'm done. Okay.
remember.
So driving him to school this morning, and he's like, "Oh, I'll just power through to 120 when I get home." Nope, hasn't been on. He like logged into the app, but not the game.
That's okay. I'll play with you guys.
I pointed him out. Even fun is work. You still have to do a certain amount of work. You know.
The new Kingdom Hearts game comes out tomorrow, and I want it, but I'm not gonna get that.
No.
Yeah, I need to get myself a Switch. All of my friends are getting Switches, and they're raving about how much fun that they're having on the Switch.
Why? Why is it different from any other game system? Oh,
Because
one second, sorry. Let's do this, and then you can explain.
Roll call for our late night inappropriate,
Elizabeth made it back in time.
very naughty music hour. This is where the faint of heart swoon, parents put children to bed, and things heat up and get steamy. So pour another drink and strap yourself in. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
There we go. Okay, so why is Switch any more fun than a Xbox or a PS4?
Because take your Xbox and PS4 and take your pocket Game Boy and you put them the fuck together, and there you go.
So who makes Switch?
Nintendo.
Nintendo, yeah.
Okay.
A bunch of my coworkers, when we were out at an outing, decided they didn't want to hang out with the rest of us because they all started playing Mario Party on the Switch, and then they went on to Mario Kart, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, we'll come join the fun now." Like, put it away and put it in our pocket, and like,
So
on you go.
wait a minute. Okay, so I'm confused with this.
So what?
Go ahead.
I'm
And
like,
then you could take it home and hook it up to your TV, and it acts just like your big console.
Okay, so
what?
now I've seen them, and I know you have two little controllers that come off each side or something like that. So it's like a little mini tablet with two controllers, right? But two people could take it and play on the same machine.
Yeah, or you can get extra controllers so that 4 people can play on the same little
And people
screen.
can
'Cause
bring
each one
their.
of those little sides turns sideways and has all of the buttons that make it a like regular like D-pad and the other buttons.
Can I play my old games on it?
They do have a lot of the older games. You can't use like any of the Wii games.
So I have to buy them again.
See,
And
I don't
download
want to
them.
get rid of it.
Good.
I've gotten all my Lego Dimension things. Nope. Keeping one again.
Okay. But you know what? When you get it, if you come visit us, you should bring it. So you can show us because.
If I get it, it's like $350.
Right.
I don't have that kind of money lying around.
No.
What?
It's I don't have $3.50 laying around. So. What about
I
you?
did, and then Harry took it.
He also took her bobby pins, her makeup, her money. I think he's a
No.
fucking hooker.
No, sometimes because I will empty my pockets, put it on my nightstand, or in the drawer. Harry will get the dollar bills, and this is why I vacuum all the time. Sometimes I find it under the freezer. Dollar bills.
Then he takes her G-strings, and we found a weird pole in one of the rooms
Yeah, you know.
and a webcam.
That's why he cuts this one all the time.
Here, I can show you this. I have new cufflinks. They're Death Star cufflinks from Andrea.
For
Hold on, Liz.
for Groundhog's Day,
We'll do-
they came in early.
Let's. There we go.
Oh, that just made it worse.
Okay.
Okay, I believe you. They're round.
I
They're
would
silver.
I would lean forward more, but I have a cat on my lap, and really, he's more important.
Well, I was talking
I mean,
to
you could always take a picture and text it to me.
I was going to show in the viewing audience too.
Well, I don't care about that.
Oh.
I was talking to someone at work because I have to work Valentine's Day. I don't care. And I'm like, we don't celebrate Valentine's Day. We decided a long time ago to celebrate Groundhog's Day. And I'm like, you know what you have for Groundhog's Day? Do you guys know what you have for Groundhog's Day? Sausage. Do you know why?
I feel like Bill Murray ate sausage and Groundhog's Day, but
No, it's Groundhog. And, you know, I'll get him. Well, I get him stuff all the time, but it's like Groundhog's Day. I got him cufflinks from Wish.
All right. John, you have a good night. Have a safe drive home. Watch out for that weather tomorrow, man.
Yeah.
And we might be up
Good
in
night,
your
John.
area on Wednesday. You might see our little faces poke in.
Yeah. Night, John.
I am sending everybody this picture of my cufflink. She also got me Batman bat symbol cufflinks, like from the Dark Knight, the Christopher Nolan series.
It looks like just a bat, so it could be for Halloween, it could be for Batman. I just liked him.
There you go, Chris. Check it out. So we are in the third hour. Everybody let us know if you're hanging out and sticking it out with us. Let us know who you
Hanging
are.
out?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, don't bother, Elizabeth. Bob already left. It's so and Gary, how you
I
been?
touch myself.
Yo,
When I think about Bob, I touch myself.
me too. I'm all like gripping my penis, going Kopla.
What the
Oh, Andrea, I sent you a link. There's a professor of mine is having an art show in March, and I'm going to go down to it. It's in Nashville, so.
Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, he's so good. When I look at his work, and Chris, you like his work, it's all paper sculpting. Like, this man can draw a perfect circle, cut it with a cutting edge.
Exacto.
And when I look at it, and he hand paints everything, and I think he might use a little airbrush. When I look at his use of color, the voice in my head says, "You know nothing of color."
you know nothing.
This man is a god. Bow to him. And I was taught by him. And one day I admitted to him. I caught him after a presentation of another artist. And I ran up to him. I said, "Leo, I don't understand design. I don't know what the hell I'm doing." And he said, "I know. just keep going. You'll figure it out one day." I still haven't figured it out. But I know why I'm bad. It's like I know it's not working, so I'm over it. We should go. We should go. Anyone wants to go? I'm driving down there or up there.
When
wherever.
is it?
I think it's the 25th of March.
And how much is it?
It's free. It'll be our opening. There'll be wine and cheese and
Free
I
wine
can't
and
afford
free
a
cheese?
single thing he does, so it'll be nice.
Free wine and free cheese?
Yeah, we can get a
I can't
hotel.
guarantee it, but he's a classy guy, so his chances are it'll be easy food and drink there.
Real quick, Wynn says you should make a Groundhog Day cake. 1/2 chocolate, 1/2 white. Then frost it and spin it around. And the first cut will either be shadow or a bright day.
That's great.
And in the very center, liquid red.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did you guys hear about the chicken and waffle cupcakes?
I saw the link. I read it.
Well, here's the thing. Someone at work, he's a coworker, great baker, and he made me a cheesecake because I'm like, make me a cheesecake. He did. He bakes for people in the store. He made someone a chicken and waffle
Sorry,
waffle
please
cupcake.
continue. I was watching the cat.
I know. Of course. He made someone a chicken and waffle cupcake, and I'm like, I need that.
That's
So now he's gonna make me some chicken and waffle cupcakes.
Oh, how cool is that?
Nice.
I told him, I'm like, you need to at least charge for it, even if it's just to, keep doing it.
Because we will keep taking your fucking cupcakes.
Yeah, for cost. I mean, don't do it out of your pocket. Because I tried to give him money for the cheesecake. He wouldn't take it. But I think I'm going to barter with him because he wants some lotion.
Oh, nice, yeah. Or just refuse to take his money and then he'll make you more baked goods because you fucking have
Chicken and waffle cupcakes, people.
It looks like, hold on, Chris, do that again. Lean back and stretch your arms. Please,
Near.
please. Lean back, stretch them all the way back. Doesn't he look like he has little teeny arms? They're like fucking Deadpool baby arms going on there.
Oh my god. Keep your pants on. That's funny.
Oh, good times. Perspective is everything.
Oh god, that's so funny. Yeah.
So,
Isn't it though?
there's a spag ball.
Somebody said, well,
Stop laughing. Hey, Andrea, how you doing? How you doing?
That's so funny.
I don't know why that reminds me of gaming, but it does. Chris, you said Wednesday or Thursday is good for you. Do you want both or just one?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, I'll put you in both then. If we don't have enough players, you know,
Yeah.
if we don't have
If
4
there's
players.
8 people in one and,
No.
only 3 in the other, put me in the other
I
one.
will not do more than 4 players. I do 3 or 4 players per game.
Well,
Devnall, you
Well,
out of
you're
here?
busy man.
Good night, Devnall. Thanks for stopping in, man, and thanks again for that resubscribe. Appreciate it. You're keeping us afloat all by yourself.
I'm gonna be able to go between games because I don't know if my schedule will.
I was going to set up a teleportation device where people can randomly disappear if they can't make the next game.
That works for me.
It'd be like an implant. Boink, they're
I
gone.
want to play, but right now I want money.
Oh, I know. It's
Now I want to go to Tennessee. So
on purpose?
what's hard?
Oh,
Yes, I want to go to that thing. That sounds interesting. Because
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
really
anything
cool.
about drawing or design,
Oh.
but I like to look at it.
Oh, he's so good. He's so good. I don't even understand how good he is. And I took his class. Really good. I'm going to see if I can catch up with a couple classmates. They're kind of around the area. It could be really fun.
Nice.
Maybe. Yeah. I'll buy dinner. It'll be fun.
so let's see. What can we talk about in the third hour here? That is.
Did you do the social justice thing? I missed it, didn't I?
We did it.
See,
Just
I
have
wanted to
dinner. Come on,
be
Andrea.
here for that.
We could do it again.
No, it's not the same.
We could just repeat
Well,
all the shit we.
When I saw this interview today, and a black pastor was interviewing this black woman, and she had set up a business online service where black people who were overwhelmed with figuring out their position in society could have white people volunteer to do favors for them, kind of like a payback, like reparation. Like white people could come clean their house, or
I want to hire a maid service.
so he's trying to get to the core of this person. And she would become so agitated with him when he would ask her questions that she would ask the same question back. And a couple times she would curse and say awful things, and he would ask her, please don't curse on the radio, you know. That's your rules. And she would say, which you gotta laugh, she would say, you can't tell a woman what to do. Which I found amusing, right? And then she would insist, and then she'd curse at him, and he ended up saying, it's interesting how she immediately resorts to being a nasty black woman. Right. Which set her off. Then she hung up on him on Skype, and then she returned. And basically my point being that she never could have a debate with him or discuss or even argue. She just would get angry and call him names. And I just found it shocking that they're no longer hiding, people are no longer hiding their stupidity or ignorance, that they're flagrantly putting the laundry out there and almost being proud of it.
Yeah, because they want their 15 minutes of fame.
But it's so painful.
They don't see it as painful. It's
I
painful.
feel it hurts.
Yeah, it's we might, but these people are like, hey, everybody's looking at me. It's the class clown type mentality where any attention is good attention.
That's sad.
It is. It is, because they don't want to be respected. They don't want to be admired. They don't want to influence. They just want people to look at them.
Don't look at me. And don't tell me what to do.
You know, and say, hey, I saw you on YouTube.
So back to the mere numbers, like likes or hits or retweets or.
Yeah. They're not doing it for a proactive, productive reason. They're just doing it to get people
That's
going.
one of the comments I put. I when we were talking initially at the beginning. I sometimes forget what I'm thinking about, so I write them as I think. And then one of them was, it's easier to be offended than to actually get off your butt and do something.
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
I think being offended is the lazy
I'm
man's
offended by
game.
that.
I did mention the thing earlier that you can never give offense, you can only take offense. Because unless somebody is just purposely trolling to piss someone off, nobody ever says something with the intent of offending somebody.
Oh, I know. I wouldn't agree with that.
I said unless if they are trolling.
Unless they're trying to get a reaction, yeah.
When you state your opinion about Trump and politics and religion and all these things, are you trying to piss people off?
No, it just happens.
Right, it happens. But I wouldn't think that is your intent. If your intent is to piss somebody off, then you're going in there with that intent of, this is what I'm doing right now.
When did so much be placed upon things that mean so little? Words are, I say this every week. I'm sorry. I just like yelling, record. You know,
We get it. We get it. It's this is why I warn you guys who are on here on a regular basis. You're going to hear me say the same shit over and over and over again, because some things A bears repeating. B, we've got 3 new people or 300 new people who haven't heard this the last 50 times I said it. So you're welcome to do the same thing. You can repeat your shit.
So say what you were going to say about the words.
I don't know. I have to think about this for a little bit. But I remember someone was explaining to 8th graders about social justice, and they were saying, imagine that there's a wall and everyone is trying to get over this wall, and some can get over it, but some people are way too short. Shouldn't we provide them at least a bench or something to aid their efforts in getting over the wall? And the 8th graders would say, well, yeah, I mean, they're good-natured people. They said, yeah, we should help people. And then they got kind of excited about the idea, and then they asked me what I thought. And I said, well, maybe the people don't want our help, or maybe the challenge will instill creativity. Maybe they'll come up with another way of getting over the wall. Maybe they'll get under the wall. Maybe they'll go through the wall. I mean, that's called being inventive.
Why should we have to provide the bench? Why shouldn't they provide their own bench?
Yes. Like, why do we have to? Why can't they help themselves?
Wynn says, I'd be there to sell them a ladder.
There you go, see? That's, yeah. Make them pay
Maybe
for it.
they don't want to get over the wall. Maybe they just want to stay at home and, bake cookies all day.
Maybe they'll realize the wall's only 10 foot across. They can walk around the damn thing. But because they're that size, they'll be better at the next thing than you, because you're a huge little fucker. Huge little
I told the kids, I said, be wary of people that provide you all the answers you need. Be wary of that.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah.
they're just agreeing with all the shit, weren't they? I like
You know what you
food.
need. You figure it out and you do it yourself. That's called living. It's from free will. Don't let people tell you.
Don't tell me what to do.
Tell me what's...
What do you
can
think?
tell me, but I ain't gonna fucking do it.
What do you think, Chris?
Well, I'm having trouble hearing you, and I've only heard bits and pieces of that conversation. But I think, if I understand everything that's going on, I think there is a time and a place to help someone over that wall. And I think at the same time that you're right, there are times when you need to let them figure out the wall. I don't think it can be a blanket statement of just like, let people figure out their own shit getting over the wall. Or the third option, I think, is maybe we should solve the problem of the wall in the first place. Like, why are these three people standing at the wall wanting to get over? Is there some reason, like, are they trying to just watch something on the other side, or are they trying to climb over and get to the other side of the wall? Why is the wall there in the first place? Maybe as a society we could take the wall down. Maybe it's an old construct that's no longer useful.
Yeah, what is it keeping people
I
down?
think it's all dependent on situation. I think, like, everything in life, it's everything is situational. You can't have just a blanket statement that says, ta-da, this is the thing. Because we don't live in a black and white world. Everything is some fun shade of gray.
What's on the other side of the wall? Are they trying to get back over too? Does it work both ways?
Maybe we should build a wall.
Is it like in Stardust where there's a guard at the hole in the wall because they don't need people in the magic area?
I agree with you, Chris. Absolutely. There are no, I mean, in law, there can be bright line rules, but in life, it's not. Life is just, you know. But you know, we also can't, you know, you have to allow people to decide if they need help and then provide ways for them to get it.
Absolutely.
And I like the point about social constructs. Yeah, is there a way to get rid of the fucking law?
I think it's
Right.
very important to teach people to ask for help when they need help instead of just giving them help without them asking.
Oh yeah.
You want to talk about a sense of fucking entitlement, not having to ask for help and people just doing shit for you without you ever saying, I'd like to have this happen.
Yeah, that's.
I saw that video game console you were talking about at Mars, and that does look cool. That's a neat idea. So I hope I'm there when you bring it over. You buy it and bring it over.
We'll lure you over with ham.
I'll make a sprout ham and get you a mug.
Mug of ham.
Free shit? Well, all right then.
Oh no, in all likelihood, she will be kind enough to pick up the ham and bring it over for us.
Oh, ham and chocolate chip cookies. We'll never shit again.
Oh God.
What? Those make you not shit?
I don't know. I'm just.
Why are you telling me? I'm scared.
Don't jiggle her, she'll explode. What are you doing, Chris?
Watching porn?
Watching you all?
Well, I'm watching your eyes track the screen and everything, and I'm like, that's not World of Warcraft eye tracking. So
No,
Are
you
you
could
reading-
tell. This damn thing tracks me. You would be able to tell if I was playing World of Warcraft.
Are you reading Wikipedia?
Are you?
No, because the way we're now in 3-person mode, the screens have shrunk, and I have to look back and forth to see between the two of you.
I make it
It's
full
not
screen.
like when we're in 4 mode and they're all like right there center.
Right. I make it full screen when I do this, so just check to see if Kevin, because I told him he can come on it. You can come on if you want to. You can come on your. Yeah.
He's so good. Ow.
Everybody take off their pants.
No, it's still cold.
It
No,
isn't-
I got half an hour until I can do that.
He's
Me
got
too.
he's got the pants timer on.
I took mine off 2 hours ago.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
but if I have to get up to go to the bathroom or walk off screen, I gotta be wearing pants.
No, you don't.
So says Twitch.
Well,
Just show the little.
will you be wearing any kind of underwear?
Any undergarment?
Hey, not showing it all.
No.
She's showing her ball.
Here, you know what I'm.
Free.
Okay.
Free.
Why would you?
ball.
Why do you walk on it? Goddamn cat.
Free ballin'.
Okay, let's do.
Oh my God.
That'll be a great video.
My God. We do need to have a filming day. We do need to have a
It's
filming
too
day
cold right now.
soon.
Wait till it's a little warmer.
Okay,
It's too cold.
hold on. I've got something for you guys, and you'll be happy to know it's a masturbation joke.
Thank
When
God.
is it not?
It's this is a video that went up today, guys. You're both in it.
Oh God.
I put it in the Twitch.
I already liked it. I liked it already.
Did you? You already watch it? It's yeah. So there you
You're
go,
so
Chris.
funny.
Oh,
Your face.
yeah.
No,
I froze it
pause,
right
pause.
on 3 seconds, where right after I say penis in the beginning, and I'm like, I hit pause, and Andrea's looking at my big face.
You
Looks
say it
scared.
twice in the video.
Did I say it twice? I say it more than twice.
Oh yeah.
There's a whole lot of penis in
one
that video.
shot.
It's a there's that whole like electric company thing where I'm like penis, and you're like envy, penis, joke.
I watch them like this, like oh my god.
They're so great.
They are funny. They're humiliating.
I
They're
watch
funny.
them like this. And Win says, reminds me, I need to get a highlight clip for my stream earlier today. What'd you do, Toei? Were you funny?
Oh, Toei, I didn't see it. I'm sorry, I was writing. I was just gone.
I was working. I didn't get to see you. Oh, little kitten. Look at this cat.
She's all lovey and friendly today. Okay, what else we got for
Are we
this?
all watching it? It's all quiet. Are we watching it?
Wait. Just had a good time blowing up ships in War Thunder.
Cool.
Ooh.
As long as the commercial for that isn't, there's a battle in my ass and it's about to explode.
Oh,
War
God.
Thunder.
Ew. Ouch.
You know, I've never played the game room at MarsCon, and I kind of like to. But now that I found the video game room,
Oh, yeah.
I kind of think I have to part. I don't think Andrea and I are going to be seen ever. We're going to go to that room, and that is it.
We're going to the room and you won't see us again.
You'll
If
see
you know
us
what I
when we
mean.
need ice packs, because our little hands will be...
We were playing Mario Kart, but we have that here. And we have the Wii U here.
Oh, I love playing video games. I love playing with people. It's fun. Yeah, I'll play all day.
You
I'll
come over
leave
here,
playing.
we'll have a ham, we'll play some Mario Kart. It'll be fabulous.
Chris, there was one time in my last house where we had a media room. It was a 25 by 25 foot room. And we laid down tape on the carpet and then moved the couches back and basically set up a bowling lane, and we played 4-person Wii bowling.
Yeah,
Had pizza and beer and soda.
The kids
and went
didn't have
bowling.
the beer.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that was
They had
fun.
root
I
beer.
remember that room with the
Yeah.
tiger on it.
Yeah, we did
Oh.
derp. It was a derpy tiger. It's
It was the derpy tiger.
It was. It's Elizabeth, and you know how every room here is painted differently. Well, in my last house, it's the same. And one room with all the extra paint, I did different things. So one looked like stone. It looked like, castle stone. The other wall was geometric shapes in 3 shades of dark blue. Another wall had a huge sunset on it, or sunrise, depending on your point of view. The 4th wall had a jungle scene with like a 8-foot long tiger that I
That's special.
painted, but it was high school level art, where they pick their best artist in the high school, and it looks good for a high school kid, but it's not really great. And that's what was on my wall that I fucking painted. Like sponge painted a goddamn tiger up there. But the eyes, I got the eyes slightly wrong. Like one pupil was just like a 1/2 inch off. So it was a little bit like, oh, tiger. I have pictures of it.
Oh, yeah.
That's fabulous.
And I once cut out a word bubble, took a piece of paper, cut out the oval word bubble with a little pointer, and put the word derp in it and taped it above the tiger's head.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, it's and then Toei's out of here. You have a good night, Toei.
Bye,
Thanks for coming
Toei.
by. We'll see you tomorrow. probably.
Silver. See you on the farm, Joey.
There we go. It's or in the war. I remember when I did the sunrise sunset, somebody came over and they're like, "Oh, You should have blended the colors so it wasn't like just like a rainbow of sunset colors, which are very distinctive. I'm like, yeah, well, you should have been here 2 fucking weeks ago when I was painting it, shouldn't you?
Hey,
That's
your
when you
cat
put like
Kenny.
a dead body, like a scarecrow hanging, and you put their portrait on it.
That's something I could add later. The advice they gave me was like nothing useful because it's too late. I would have to paint the wall white and redo everything, which isn't happening.
Well, it's remember that movie, History of the World Part 1?
No, never heard it.
And,
Who's that?
oh my God, it's Mel Brooks.
That was
You have to watch
sarcasm.
this movie.
We have
I'm
that.
going to go.
That was sarcasm. I'm very
Oh,
familiar.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Go on.
Ow, ow.
I was acting.
Not really. Can you take your cat?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. When they said the invention of the artist, of course, immediately came after the invention of the critic.
That's right. Urinating noise. What is Chris doing? What are you leaning back? What is that? What is that machine beside you there,
Something
Chris?
more important.
There it is.
The weather. What is it?
We have it. It's
We've
I
got
find it.
Of course we have it.
Hey, I wonder if
Yeah.
John is still
It's
listening.
right between Hansel, Gretel, Witch Hunter, and the Holy Grail.
Hey, John, if you're still listening, do you have a computer for Elizabeth? Even if it just supports Twitch and Discord at the same time. Just something where we could tell her this is just for the show. That way she can see full-size pictures,
And that'd be on
and
her phone.
read the comments. Where you're on your phone right now, right, Elizabeth?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, her picture is this big. So
my
when
computer is over there. I'm
Yeah.
just so tired. I can't go.
Well, your computer cuts off when you try to do it too, so.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's Smithfield. I don't know. It's me. I'm supposed to be writing. I'm not supposed to be on a talk show.
you could have wrote during it the whole thing every time we talked to you, it'd be like,
I tried. It doesn't work. It just. I tried
She'll
last week.
start
It
writing
doesn't
what we're
work.
saying. Is there something wrong with this cat?
which one?
This one.
What are you guys doing for the Super Bowl? Super Bowl.
When is it?
Pets. No, you don't watch it. Neither of you. Either of you.
Oh, wait.
No one watches.
We don't have regular TV.
I don't know when it is. It's a Sunday, right?
It's
Yeah.
this Sunday, right?
No, it's next Sunday.
Okay, so
Well, I
February.
mean, the one coming February 3rd.
Oh.
Okay, so who's playing?
Football.
Very good.
Rams and the Patriots. Rams and the Patriots.
Rams and the Patriots. Patriots got this one.
Yeah, we don't have the TV to watch it, so.
Oh, we have the TV. We just don't have cable.
We don't have a TV service to watch it.
That would be
It's not going to be on
Internet.
Netflix.
Do you get internet on your TV?
sort of.
Netflix?
I mean, we have streaming services, but we don't have like a browser on our TV. We don't have a computer hooked up to it.
Oh, I see. Can you hook a computer to your monitor TV?
Not to watch the Super Bowl because that's illegal.
That's not what I asked.
No, I don't
I said,
watch it.
can you hook a
Okay.
computer
I
to
don't
your
know.
TV?
Probably. I've never.
If you have a cable long enough.
Hey, man.
HDMI, baby. HDMI.
It's I don't
You
know.
do HDMI over Ethernet, and then do HDMI out of your computer to the little box, and then run an Ethernet cable up and over and back to a little converter box. And
Well,
I can
HDMI
hook
to
mine
the
up to
TV.
my TV. I've done that before.
What was that? Say that again?
I can hook my computer up to my TV in my office. I've done that before. But I don't know about the living room
Same
TV.
process, just up there.
I don't know why.
Kitty.
Yeah, Goblin's very sad.
He's not sad. He's comfy.
He's like draped over me.
Yeah.
I can't knit anymore.
That's how he lays on me. That's like he's just like. Ugh.
He's very warm
Did you do your eye makeup different today, squirrel?
though. Aww.
Your eyes look very cat shaped today.
She's a cat.
Shaped like cat eyes, not necessarily shaped like cats.
I'm really tired now.
You got a purring cat on you?
Yes.
It's vibrating. Okay.
So now what?
Well, I don't know. Let's do this here. We're down to pretty much like Gary and us.
What is it? 5 minutes left?
25.
Oh, I can't see the clock. So.
But how about we just go ahead and call this here, and then we go and jump in and give you a chance to play the game before you pass out from Cat on you? Sound good?
Sure.
Sounds good.
Okay. So everybody, you have a great night. Let's do a closing toast. Here's the people that stick it out to my end.
Here's the cat. I can't move my arms.
We'll catch you. What he said. Where's some closing music here? There you go.
You can take your pants off now.
You're the one thing that makes the show what it is. Don't forget to join us at the tavern next week. Until then, have fun, keep learning, and be good to one another. Now, raise your glass in good cheer. Enjoy the small moments every day, and steal dreams every night.
Oh.
Look, I'm being judged over here.